Go ahead. You good? You good? We good, Zed. We good. We live?
Yeah, we've been live. Every time you doing that.
Yeah, y'all see me using them stalling tactics.
Boy, you need to speak up.
Yeah.
You can fade it.
Yeah, we should be good on that.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath, y'all, as we get about our Abba's business. Y'all know how we do it. Let's just get right to it. We got to face toward holy Jerusalem where our help come from. As mentioned in Isaiah chapter 2, y'all. 1 Kings 8.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son,
Yes.
our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all.
Yes.
Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 27th chapter,
Yes.
it reads, Yahweh is my light and my salvation.
Sure.
Whom shall I fear? Yahweh is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even mine enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell.
Yes, sir.
Though an host should encamp against me,
Yes, sir.
my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise against me, in this will I be confident.
Sure.
One thing have I desired of the Most High, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh all the days of my life,
Yes, sir.
to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock.
Yes.
And now shall mine head be lifted up above mine enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy.
Yes, sir.
I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto the Most High.
Yes.
Hear, O Yahweh, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me, and answer me. When thou saidest, seek ye my face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Master, will I seek. Hide not thy face far from me. Put not thy servant away in anger. Thou hast been my help. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O Elohim of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Most High will take me up. Teach me thy way, O Yahweh, and lead me in a plain path because of mine enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of mine enemies.
Yes, sir.
For false witnesses have risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of the Most High in the land of the living. Wait on the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Hallelujah! Say what?
Yes, sir.
That's right, baby.
That's right.
Oh, praise.
Wait on them, y'all. Be patient and wait. You done waited all this time.
That's right. Where you going?
Yeah, I've been waiting 2,000 years when you opened these scriptures up, didn't you?
Boy, don't
Now you want short time.
Right.
Nah.
You're in a hurry now.
Y'all, today's lesson, the 5th commandment. And the reason, y'all, we're going over this topic today, we kind of made mention last week of the greatest 2 commandments. Love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul, and your brother as yourself. So we was explaining that the first 5 of the big 10 commandments in Exodus 20 are speaking of how to love the Lord with your whole heart and soul. And the second 5 is how to deal with your fellow brethren and sister. So we need to define that a little bit better, because the question was asked, well, the 5th commandment said, honor thy mother and thy father. How do you do that? And that's coming from the Father. How is that his 5 part? So what we have to explain, y'all, we have to go through some things and understand there's times when the Father put his spirit on individuals and they have to be respected as such. So we're going to get into this so you understand that the transfer of power from the Heavenly Father to your earthly mother and father, we are not to, there's a line we can't go across.
That's right.
Y'all, what I'm speaking of is like when Moses went up into the mountain, he came down and Miriam, Aaron, fat-mouthing about his wife, and the Most High called him out. Now, this is his big brother and sister. And he told them, how dare y'all speak against Moses like that? And I've given him authority. He's wearing me. You have to look unto him as unto me, long as he follow these commandments. If he fall off, the deal's off the table. So we see that constantly out in the script. But y'all, we're going to get some clear understanding, because the main thing we don't want to do is the part about the mother. If this is about the Lord, then you're saying, who is the mother that's in heaven? And then we'll end up with that rotten tree out of New York, Dickie Shepherd and them, where they say the spiritual mother is wisdom. She sits at the right hand of the Father. No, we got to clear that up, y'all. That ain't what we talking about. We're going to inform you of a transfer of power so you understand that. Just like you need to understand remembering the Sabbath day. It says to remember it.
That's right.
What does that mean? And this is before sinning hit planet Earth. Shalom says. So y'all, we want to get good and clear on the 5th commandment, and we're going to show you throughout the scripts how men become fathers and they are being looked unto like the Lord. But if you sin once, you ain't looking like unto the Lord until that breach is repaired.
Right.
And you keep moving. So we're going to show that in a couple places, y'all. We're going to break off this greatest commandment. Then we're going to hit the rules, statutes, and judgments, teachings concerning honor thy mother and thy father. So you understand, first you have to honor your father.
Yes.
Now, you heard people say, well, the Holy Spirit is the mother. No, the script ain't never said that. And times it'll identify like the bosom of a mother. At times it'll say he. But what they're getting mixed up in that wisdom of Solomon 7 is the gift of wisdom. It's not the embodiment of the Holy Spirit. It's a gift. If you receive it, you hold it. Like, a boy thinks about his mother. Because most women will tell you, if a boy loves his mama, he worth marrying. That lets us know where his mindset is at and the care or nurturing for that. So, y'all, we're going to get this cleared up really good today. So we're going to start off in Matthew 22, 36 to 40. But before we get started, we got any questions or concerns?
I don't see any questions in the chat.
Okay.
But I did want to send up prayers, ask the family to set up prayers for our brother Rodney Burton. This is our brother Amos' father. He I talked to him last week, and he told me he's up there in Minnesota. He may be going on dialysis. So I told him I'd let the family know that we looked up prayers.
Definitely.
Okay, yeah, and also the house of Aria, his wife TT, her aunt was involved in a bad car accident. So, but she's doing okay right now. Just need prayers for that household as well. The house of Uriah, and all the sick and shut in, y'all. Praying for y'all. But let us know, y'all. We can't pray unless we know what's going on.
Right.
And we ain't asking you to get all in your business, but there's different prayers for different types of issues. So with that, y'all, let's get it going. Don't want to get too far behind.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Matthew, chapter 22. We're going to start the reading in verse 36.
Yes, sir.
Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
What he asking?
Which is the great commandment in the law? Yeshua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Most High thy Elohim with all thy heart.
With what?
With all thy heart. And with all thy soul. And with all thy mind. That is the first and great commandment.
See, that's first things first. If you don't do this, ain't no need trying to do the second. Because you have to start always at the top. You can't start in the middle because you're going to disrespect the top. This is why men worship. Like Job said in Job, what is it, 32, 21, 22, he said, the Most High take my breath from me if I show respect to person. Y'all, that's dangerous than COVID, man worship.
Right.
Because you're skipping a step. Let's get some more.
Verse 39.
Yeah.
And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Right.
On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
So on these two hang them all, because that's what it takes to get this walk done. Y'all, this ain't hard. This ain't like we're going to come up under the curse of law or anything. If you treat an individual like you want it to be treated, that commandment is already done, but you have to learn and understand what the Bible says about how to treat your neighbor.
Right.
You can't just, his thoughts are not our thoughts.
Right.
His ways are higher than our ways, so that lets it off that there's no private interpretations of these scriptures anywhere. Right. And he said his law is love. So he said, how you going to know how I think? I'm going to give you a commandment. That's all you need to be concerned with.
That's it.
And I'm going to tell you why this is good for you. If I tell you do this, honor your mother and father, he say it's good for long life.
That's right.
Who don't want long life?
Man, give me some.
So that's what we're talking about. His laws express themselves, and that's what we're going to get into today. And then we're going to get into the teaching of these laws. Mind you, y'all, when we get into Exodus, this gives the law. All of the proverbs, the Sirachs, they are basing that wisdom off of that law. So that you understand you don't move nobody up in front. Or move somebody below and generalize it. These teachings, statutes, and judgments will help you understand that Exodus 20, have no other God.
Right.
Love your brother as yourself. Like Abraham loved Lot, which was really his nephew, but there's scripts that say, my brother, I'm going to get it. But that was his brother's son. It's only brother when we move to spiritual. It kind of eliminate cousins, uncle, nieces when we on that level up there. And then there's a level down here that still must be respected. Lot never challenged Abraham. Lot herdsman, Shalom says, Lot herdsman was into a scrap, but Lot never challenged. And then Abraham being uncle, he let his nephew, he's like, you pick and choose. There's enough for everybody.
Right.
Ain't no favorite spot. Let's get some more.
We're going to the book of Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus 20. So we see what the greatest two is divided into these 10, but the fifth one is how we need to see the hierarchy status and when it's put on an individual. Yeah, and then we'll get some good understanding.
Where you going to start in that 20?
We're going to pick it right up, verse 12.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Exodus, chapter 20. We'll start the reading in verse 12. Get some understanding.
Yes,
family.
sir.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Do what?
Honor thy father and thy mother.
So first thing we need to do is get a clear understanding of what the word honor means. So if you will, Zed, pull that for me, honor. And we're just looking for dealing with individuals, human individuals, and that type of honor, because that's where we're at. Honor. That's what we need to understand before we self-interpret what this means.
Right.
High respect, great esteem, regarded with respect, fulfill an obligation, or keep an agreement.
So, respect, great respect.
Right.
So when you honor them, you have to honor your parents with great respect. High esteem. So that still has to be taught, because if the law don't teach it, or the prophets of the Most High don't teach how that's to be performed, then we'll love our parents under our own love.
Right.
You know, and that's going to be a problem, because now we're defining what God's love is. His love, His commandments tell you how to love your mother, how to love your father, how to love your brother and sister. Anybody else come in trying a different way of how to love, don't listen to that love. That's dangerous love. That's fair. What is it? Fair weather friend love. As long as it's going good.
Yeah, and that's like, I was over at one of the tenants' houses the other day, and the brother had a heart attack. You know, he'd been bedridden on oxygen, but he got a teenage son and grown children. But his teenage son was arguing with him back and forth. He kept saying, "Man, that's what I'm talking about, bruh." I'm like, "Dog, that's your daddy, man."
Oh, look at
you know, because he sickly now, and then you coming at him all like taking advantage.
Right.
And I'm like, man, you gotta honor your father.
Yeah, you better.
Be gone one day.
Sure is.
You
Look.
have to make some choices.
And honor don't mean, look, if you're having trouble with your parents or anything, the honor means there's a line you won't cross.
Exactly.
See, because on the other side of that line is, if it ain't respect, what is it? Disrespect. If it ain't honor, what is it?
Dishonor.
So if it's dishonor with showing low self-esteem for your parents, that's going to be a problem. Most High say your life going to be cut off. What you got to say?
Oh, look at this.
I got a new situation. I ain't going into detail, but a situation I'm dealing with where this man is in his 90s on hospice, dying from lung cancer from chain smoking, and the daughter claims to have gone from one occult religion to another one. And I was asking questions about the father, and he gonna die anyway in front of him. And he looked at her, and then I was trying to encourage him to curve from the smoking to, when your flesh wants to urge you for a cigarette, eat a piece of candy. And when he asked her if she would give him candy, then the next time she snapped at him and, I got you this, and you gonna keep on.
Well, all that shows is no law, and we've been telling that story for many years of how different households address. You can tell your parents, get out of my room, and they pay the mortgage.
Right.
No, we've never been able to do that. Get out of my room. Hell, we couldn't even close the door.
Man, look, when I was
If that door, I know damn well that door ain't closed in there, and you got who in there?
But when I was growing up, the white kids would cuss at
Yeah,
them.
boy, look, cuss like
I'm like, man.
y'all, but we've become friends of the world, so y'all all, and what they're waiting on, sis, they're waiting on the wheel. The quicker he died, the quicker we get paid.
Right.
Why you keep hanging out? No, we ain't gonna curb smoke. Keep smoking. Rush it on in so we can be done with this procedure. What you got over there, Jeremiah?
I was about 18, 19. I stayed with my mom and dad, and I had my room redid. You know, contract come in.
Yeah.
Turn the walls out, put this in. You know, had the pillows on the floor. You know.
Boy, you had that. Yeah. We know that. Yeah, that look. Yeah.
So I had a young baby up there. And the door was open. So my mom told me, she said, "Come here." And she said, "Look, you can't have no female come in your room." I said, "Mom, the door." She said, "Boy, did you hear what I told you?"
Right.
Now watch this. In my feelings, I left home.
Boy, in your feelings. Right. Because she told you can't be a man in her house.
Watch this.
With a woman.
It was a minute now, I slept in my car, wanted to go back to that room.
Boy, I know you wanted to get back in there. Just them four
But
walls.
see, what that pride in me wouldn't let me go
Yeah.
back. And then I made my own sense.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? But
Well-
the thing is that the rules that our parents had,
It's rules.
these kids here couldn't deal with it.
No, and look, you did what the rules say. It say a man must leave his father and mother. When
That's
you
right.
when you want comforting,
You did what
and
you was supposed to do.
cuddling, you did the right thing.
You left.
Now, it may have cost you a lot of sleep in the back seat of that car. Yeah, feet cold, everything cold. But let's move on, y'all. Read that verse 12 again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother,
Right?
that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy Elohim giveth thee.
So right there, y'all, we see if you honor, if you show respect and high regard for your mother or your father, it says you get long life. And we're in the law. This is the law. This is on the 10 Commandments. So this is why it's telling you to do it. He don't do anything without instruction. So to honor your mother and father, the payoff is long life.
Right?
And we need to truly understand that we got to get out of this new age talk of people saying, you dead to me.
Right.
Now, if you say that to your parents, you dead to me.
Well, look, ain't that
Whatever make you mad. So right here, what you've done is cut off your blessing.
Yes.
You've cut it off. What you got to do about it?
Matthew 15 and 4.
Yeah.
For God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother.
Uh-huh.
And he that curseth father or mother,
Yeah.
let him die the death.
Yeah. So that's on the list that we're going through, too, by.
15 and 4.
That's on the list, but we're going to get it from the law. You good, too, by, because it was just on the list. That's good. We're on the same thing. So we see right there that the Lord giveth thee. So let's read another law while we in here, and then we'll look at how everything apply. It must apply to these laws.
Right.
Because you're fearing a curse. Not a curse word. A curse.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, y'all. Let's get it. Deuteronomy 21:18. Then we're going to back that up with Deuteronomy 27:16. And remember, the Messiah said, I did not come to change the law or the prophets, but to fulfill it. So he had to fulfill all these things.
Everybody there?
Was it Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18.
Uh-huh. Read down a little bit there, maybe to 21. Yeah. Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 21.
Hey, Brother Darrell and Theo, could y'all help Emo? No, you good too, bye. Yeah, she ain't got nothing, probably one. She may have water though. Go ahead, bro.
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18.
Uh-huh.
If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
Let's understand that clear. Stubborn and rebellious. Don't want to hear it like you were saying, man, I don't want to miss me with that daddy.
Not even daddy.
You know, yeah, not even daddy, man. Stubborn and rebellious. Go ahead.
which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them.
So he really been hard-headed there. After they done chastened, they done put in the work they supposed to do. They like, this boy crazy.
He running the
like,
house.
that's all you got?
Yeah,
He
you
running the house.
seconds away from her. I brought you here. I take you away from her.
Exactly.
Go ahead. What else to say?
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place.
And notice how it keeps saying his father and his mother.
Right.
It don't separate that one flesh under no circumstances concerning your children. The father and mother, because it's got 23 chromosomes from each one of you. Can't take one part of it and the other part don't get no say so. Go ahead. What else to say?
And then shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
See, and this was causing the stubbornness and rebellion.
Right.
Boy, he liked that all.
Right.
Mind is bad. Like that all. Shalom, mister.
Shalom, family.
Shalom out. Shalom out. Shalom out. Y'all got the whole crew.
He is a glutton. That means he just really just taking it
All
in.
that stuff. Okay. Yeah, boy, we finna get busy, ain't we?
You over there ready to eat?
Yeah, go ahead, boy. Go ahead. What it say? Yes, sir. Yeah.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones. That he die.
That he do what?
That he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall fear and fear.
And it say all Israel shall fear and hear. So what we're saying right here is the parents say, look, we don't want to have to kill you.
Right.
We'll let the law deal with you.
Right.
Lay hold
So they
of
lay
him.
hold on. And look, the same thing happened to that daughter of Dan when she had a baby by an Egyptian. Same thing. He was rebellious, talking noise, said something against the Lord. They brought him the same way, didn't they?
Right.
Put them stones on him.
The
See,
hands-on
we didn't
activity,
play that
the
children,
stoning.
yes, from the mouth of babes, but from the mouth of babes, they don't give no instructions. Let's get that understood. It's just saying how soon does the blessing take hold on a child. Real early in the game, but that child needs an advisor.
Right.
You put a 2-year-old in charge of a kingdom, you're going to have a lot of babbling, ain't you? Gonna be a lot of 2 teeth at the bottom talk.
Truly
No.
Babylon.
Babylon. Your boy, look here. Go ahead. 27 and 16 of Deuteronomy. And y'all, we're going to move through this law so we can get down to this Sirach so we can get some good understanding, because the Bible interprets itself. It will tell us how to love our mother and father.
Exactly.
So that we don't get it misunderstood and somebody say, man, you just don't know my mama. Man, you just don't know my daddy.
You just
We
don't
know
the
how
Lord.
they got here. We know what produced them.
You don't know the Most High.
Boy, look here.
Boy,
And let's get one thing
Worry about the wrong
understood.
thing.
What we're talking about here and what these
Right,
scriptures is saying is you will never, ever catch up with the same birth certificate.
Right.
Your mama and your birth certificate, the years will not change. They will never change.
Right.
We good. Yeah, we good.
Oh, you go.
I'm good.
That's all I give you. I take it. I guarantee you, I drink too.
We'll put it right there.
Well,
Let's get it, y'all.
Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Cursed be he that sitteth light by his father or his mother.
Uh-huh.
And all the people shall say, Amen.
See, when you set it light by your father or mother, you put them on Front Street. You expose your parents. And then forgot about them 9 months you was in her womb. And you ain't retarded. See, even look, even when we say that word, it ain't supposed to be said today, according to. But look, how we were back in the day, if it was somebody slow of learning, they got the business too, and they was regular. Man, you better sit your crazy down somewhere, man. You better quit acting crazy around her. You know,
you ain't talking to me.
you ain't talking to me, right. But see,
And don't let them get to cussing.
it was tough skin, it was tough love. But it wasn't personal. It's just we hanging out. We understand what the situation is. You don't get no pass around her.
Just cause you like that.
Yeah.
You
My
want to
cousin
hang
Renee
down?
used to
Right.
cuss you out
Yeah.
with that speech.
Boy.
But you knew every word she was saying.
Yeah.
She said those well.
Well, yeah, right. Right, that was crystal clear. Leviticus 20 and 9. And then we're going to move into these statutes and judgments.
She was mute and she would cuss you out.
Boy, look here.
And deaf and she'd cuss you out.
You be like, how she learned them words so clear?
Beat the hell out of her.
Let's get it, y'all. We're going to speed it up at Leviticus 20 and 9. To do 28, I'll tell you what, 7 through 9. Leviticus 20.
Leviticus chapter
Okay.
20,
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to take it. Yeah,
verse 7.
I get it, Emo. You can put it in the back. Just make sure I get it. Okay.
Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be holy.
And be what?
And be holy.
Uh-huh.
For I am the Most High your power. And ye shall keep my statutes and do them.
Uh-huh.
I am the Most High, which sanctify you.
Y'all ain't got there yet. Leviticus 20 and verse 8. We'll read it again. It's verse 7.
We there now?
Yeah.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 7. Sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy. For I am the Most High, your power.
Right.
And ye shall keep my statutes and do them.
See, keep the statutes. That means if I break one and I fix it, then I've kept it.
Right.
If I don't break one, I've kept it even more better.
Exactly.
But I have to get back on that path for it to be counted as kept.
Exactly.
Let's get some more.
I am the Most High, which sanctify you.
For
For everyone that curses his father or his mother shall be surely put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be upon him.
See, and when we see this about that second 5 of your neighbor, it's just saying if this happened between your neighbor, there ain't a whole lot of cursing. There's repaying for events that's happening. But this is on the level of the Most High, that when he say, if you curse your mother or father, it's automatic death penalties, y'all. So we have to be careful. This world will make you choose its love and tell you what line. Well, your parents, like Dwayne Wade, just like his ex-wife said, they finna make money off of this boy that wants to be a girl now. And they got him in vogue already with new Puma shoes and all, so they making money. And the judge just granted that he can legally change his name. It's a child.
Right.
You won't let him drink alcohol or buy a weapon, but you can let him determine if he want to cut his be fruitful and multiply off.
Right.
This is where we coming to, y'all. Y'all have to understand that we're now that mindset of children running the program. And you're starting to see stars saying, well, they have their own mind. Then all of the ways of train up a child the way he should go.
Right.
This out the window now. Now the child is training up the parent. Where the parent gonna go then?
Right.
Let's get some more. Where we at? We finished that?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all, let's get right into the rules of it. The book of Sirach, chapter 3. And we're going to read verse 1 through 16 so we get some understanding of why that 5 is the first 5 of the big 10 commandments, that honor thy mother and thy father is so important, because the Most High have shifted power and given them power over you, to the sense they're like little G's, so to speak, little gods over you. Y'all understand that? Let's get some of that Sirach, and we're going to get even clearer on it. Sirach chapter 3, verse 1 through 16.
All right, reading out of the book of Sirach, chapter 3, starting at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
That we may be what?
May be safe. For the Lord have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the son.
See, that's what we read in the law in Exodus. So Sirach is repeating the law. So he's starting out the gate. The very first verse is he saying, this is how I'm coming. I'm coming from Exodus 20 with what I'm about to tell y'all. I'm coming from that Leviticus. I'm coming curse-free of those laws and the respect of those laws. I'm going to tell you the difference in honor thy mother and dishonor of thy parents. We're finna get a good understanding, and Sirach is going to explain it clearly what the Most High has done for the mother and father. Read that verse 2 again.
For the Lord have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the son.
The authority of the mothers over the son. Confirmed it.
That's right.
It keeps you safe.
Boy, go ahead.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins.
Y'all understand that? You honor your father, you wipe away a host of sins off of you. If you respect him, you know then that you're going to respect the father.
That's right.
You understand the hierarchy and who these instructions is coming from. That's why I say, how you going to say you love me and you cursing out your mama and dad?
Right.
Well, Big Daddy is a cursing away, ain't he? Big Daddy. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure.
Y'all, so understand this, y'all. And we going to get to the parts of rough talk. And your parents may be pounding you out, but the script tell them, hey, don't just use this power for abuse on your children. Let's read some more.
Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children.
Yes, sir.
And when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
See, you'll know right off because, you know, people tell you your children so well mannered. That don't mean they may not be doing nothing wrong, but they ain't gonna do that wrong in front of their parents. Ain't nobody gonna be able to say that's Willie Earl, old badass son over there.
Right.
That boy tear up a steel ball. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
He that honoreth his father shall have a long life. And he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother.
Y'all see that? That's the whole thing.
That's right.
Long life and a comfort to your mother, because y'all right now, it's a club out there. It's called Children Being Slain Before Their Parents. It's a club that Philando Castile mama say when that Lawrence jam, why they hate us so much.
Exactly.
Come on, she up at that stand. She say, until y'all join this club, the mothers who've lost a child, miss me with all that other stuff. I ain't gonna be sitting here singing Kumbaya. My child was massacred innocently. Y'all don't understand what this club is about.
Live on Facebook. Like
Boy, look here.
On scene.
Sarah felt that way about Isaac, and he was 37 years old when Abraham took him to be sacrificed. And she loved that boy so much, and she was begging him. Y'all get into that book of Jasher, and y'all see what I'm talking about, the day-to-day events. And she like, bring my boy back to me, will you please? She had a heart attack because the devil sent an old man and said, you know, he dead. What? My boy dead? The child she had at 80 plus. Let's read some more.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
He that feareth the Lord will honor his father.
Right.
And will do service unto his parents as to his master.
Y'all understand that? He said he that honoreth the Lord. First you respect the hierarchy. And then, what the next verse say? He will do service unto his parents as his masters. See, it's going to move downhill respectfully. Because every time you think I'm going to say something to my mama, you got to think about her big daddy. Well, I can't disrespect up there because, you know, and I can't explain to him why I just cussed my mama out and told her to miss me with that. Do y'all know mothers are now and their daughters get into a female dog contest with each other? Female dog, you better get on out of here. Oh, mama, female dog. I'm talking about y'all. It's at a whole nother level with this lovers of the world and the respect and honor. But this is how the devil has done it. He's made it cool talk. And because the mama don't say anything, it's being accepted. Y'all understand what I'm saying? The mama on the program, oh, that's cool. My mama, they just say, no. Birth certificates still have different dates on them. Let's get some more.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them.
See, in word and deed, not just talking a good game. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about if you have to be made for this, it's going to be a problem. Y'all understand? And then we don't have to get caught up in waiting on a date. to honor our parents. It's every day when you
Supposed to do it
understand.
every
that.
day.
It's to the casket drop for either one of you.
Yeah.
Every day, Lord.
Yes, sir. Get some more.
Verse 9. For the blessing of the father establisheth the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooted out foundation.
See, the father established, but you cursed the mother. You rooted the foundation that where it was set up on. Y'all, it's a dangerous thing. Your daddy can get another mama, but you can't have another mother.
Right.
It's one. Now that would be considered, when he marries her, that's technically your mother, but a birth mother you will never get again. So you have to truly understand that. What else to say?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Glory not in the dishonor of thy father. For thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee.
See, and that's what Ham did. And it was labeled to drunkenness. Drinking got involved. So y'all, we can't be our children's friend.
Right.
If they get drunk and you got a pee stain in your front of your pants and he's slurring words, who gonna counsel who?
Right.
Now you tell me about cause I say King's Highway instead of King's Highway. You pissed on yourself. Yeah, I may have pissed on myself, but I got good English. I say King's Highway.
That sounds like a drunk conversation.
Boy, look here. Y'all bashing one another, so y'all, we're not saying there's times in Israel where you drink, like, you know, occasionally, but you cannot be a social buddy with your parents on the level when it comes down, because there always got to be a line where you say enough. And then your word is bond. If you let that line cross to where they start challenging you on what we're doing, then you have to cut off what you and them doing. And don't do that no more with them children ever again. Because this move right now is then elevated them equal with you. So y'all, we have to clearly understand what that means. You know, we're not telling you you can't enjoy feast days and different things with your children. But what I'm talking about is if you regularly hang out like y'all buddies. And a woman and they ride with their mom. Mama, you looking good, boy. We're gonna turn them up at the club tonight. You looking like a bad bitch, mama. No, the birth certificate's done leveled off, ain't they? Get some more, bruh.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father.
See, and that's why they always say, if you ruin your father's good name, y'all understand why they're saying that? That's where the honor come from. They're like, oh, that's Jimmy Lee's boy. Yeah, they do that. Ain't gonna be no nails left. Ain't gonna be nothing left around because he honored his dad. He'll never disrespect like that. But if you got a rebellious son, he's gonna try to leave what his father left as cheap as he can do it. Or pull up and grab people standing off the corner, you know, with no tools or nothing, talking about y'all want to make a quick buck. Get up to do a roof at 12 noon in July. What the hell is that going to do for the roof but turn up, ain't it?
You ain't gonna be on that.
You just want to look here. Go ahead, what you got?
You ain't gonna last.
You saw that happen kind of recently with Master P and his son.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What that?
Well, he's saying his daddy ripped him off of his potato chip money. And a few of his royalties. And then his daddy got to get on there and then show receipts and stuff. Come on, this thing went too far. This ain't supposed to be public.
Right.
You telling the whole world your daddy is pulling a 5-finger discount on you? On your royalties? Your daddy is going the way of Joe Jackson and a few other one. And what's the boy named? Webster? Not Webster, the other boy. Gary Coleman.
People.
You hear what he said? Master P, when he was doing the thing? I guess he was sending a message to Romeo saying, hey, if you take me down, we're going to take care of the family.
Boy, look here. It's not so much as y'all was saying. Well, that's in that world. That's why they crazy like that. Look, even if they was in that world and you understand the law, statutes, and judgment, you would never cross those lines.
Right.
And just the flip side of that is what 50 Cent is doing to his son. He said he wish he had never been born. I wish I had did something else when I got close to that point in time. Let's get some more. Keeping this clean. Go ahead.
Verse 11
Yeah.
again. For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father.
Yeah.
And a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children.
Uh-huh.
My son, help thy father in his age.
Do what to your father?
Help thy father in his age.
Uh-huh.
And grieve him not as long as he lives.
And grieve him not. Don't make him feel like, Lord have mercy, what I'm going to do this boy, and just grieve him to death. Every time you look up a phone call about him. They got Junior over there again. Junior done been stopped again. Junior got your name.
Right.
Willie Earl Jr. stopped again. Willie Earl Jr. caught in the back seat again. Willie Earl Jr. Now pictures in the post office. Willie Earl Jr. just keep going up the ranks. Let's read some more.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
And if his understanding fails, have patience with him.
What happened if he started to forget a few words and do what you got to have with it? See, because look, as you get older, you will remember the things more when you was 10 years old than you do yesterday. So he's going to be talking about times when he was a child. Because you start, as you get older, you start to relive in your life.
Right.
So your soul is starting to take inventory. So as you get older, it's starting to tell you, okay, you need to correct this. This happened to you when you was younger. And you'll hear older people always, they'll talk about their childhood more than yesterday. Did I tell you that dog we named Jimmy? Yeah, Daddy, you told me y'all named him Jimmy yesterday, the day before that, and an hour ago. Yeah, I know the dog named Jimmy. Oh, okay. I just wanted to know. We gonna watch the game? Yeah, Daddy, we're gonna watch the game. Did I tell you I named that dog Jimmy? Yes, sir, Daddy, you did. Understand who Jimmy is. Let's get some more.
Verse 13.
Start again at 13.
Yeah. And if his understanding fail, have patience with him. And despise him not when thou art in thy full strength.
Look, don't think you ever, get to the point that where you challenge them when you're in your full strength. Don't despise them like, like, Daddy, get out of the way. You don't know what you're doing. You too old to be lifting that. Ain't no way but saying, Paul, I want you to throw your back out. Let me get that. I'm a young buck.
Right.
But don't despise them. Tell them, you passed your prime.
Sit down, old man.
Sit down, old man. Playing basketball and you're posterizing. Talk on your daddy like that in public.
Knock him down.
Boy, knock him down. And
We read earlier.
he got, where you done went over the top of his head and he just got crotch scrub, or the scrub out a piece of his hair. You done posterized your dad. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
For the relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten.
What shall not happen?
The relieving of thy father shall not be forgotten. And instead of sins, it shall be added to build thee up. In the day of thine affliction, it shall be remembered.
What you did for your parents in the day of your affliction.
Right.
Y'all don't understand, y'all. We are doing what we'll call unforeseen blessings. You don't know how, when I lost control trying to text on that phone and swerved and hit that wall, made a complete circle in there. Car straightened out and you still going forward. That's one of them unforeseen blessings, y'all. Something happened, you finna pull off, but last minute you look up and car run through the red light. Unforeseen blessing, y'all.
Right.
Count them a blessing. Could be for how you treated your parents. That these things you're getting a pass on your negligence. Go ahead, what else to say?
Thy sins also shall melt away.
What shall your sins do?
Melt away. As the ice in the fair warm weather. He that forsaketh his father is as a blasphemer. And he that angereth his mother is cursed of Yah.
See, go ahead.
My son, Go on with thy business in meekness, so shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved.
We can hold right there. We're going to go right up to Sirach chapter 7. Y'all, we're going to read a couple in there, y'all. So we got clear understanding that you can't never cross the line with your parents. We'll read what the Messiah, they told him, your mother and your brother, but we're going to see how he responded to that. Because your mother or your earthly father, that don't mean because they don't believe the truth, you get to talk over them.
Right.
Oh, you don't know nothing about this Bible, mama. Y'all still going to church. Oh, you breaking the rules. Right. That's all the mama have to say. What you got, sis?
Because I had to speak to my own children that honoring your father and your mother doesn't mean that you always have to agree with everything, because none of us are perfect. But the reason why we're called parents is because we know a little bit more than you all do, but you still respect us as being the parent.
Absolutely, because it's rank and file, y'all. And what we're talking about is, if they say, boy, God don't care nothing about me doing this, you can respectfully say, respectfully, mama, yes, he does. Because you have to honor Big Daddy first. You understand what he's saying? So once we get that understood, you're not chastising your parents. You're just telling them, mother, if I don't do that, then I don't love you. I can't love you if I will allow what just came out of you to say that's okay. And you don't have to check nobody. You don't have to go into where they're going to church is. All you have to be is a light to them. Look, a well man don't need a doctor, do it?
No.
You may have to doctor on your parents. And y'all, when you show them respect, and if they get to a point that where they say, look, I tell you this, and if you got your own house, you can leave. Mama, I'm going to go home. But if you got a room in that house and you trying to dictate rules, I don't care what she can believe. She can believe the God of the German Shepherd.
Right.
If she say this would go in this house at 6 o'clock in the morning, if you live here, you must crow out on the back porch. If you're a grown man. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So at 6, you should be standing on the porch. They're like, what's wrong with you, man? Just room and board. It's kind of mixed. Shalom, go ahead. Shabbat shalom. Go ahead, y'all. We got to pick this on up. Go ahead.
What we starting there?
Where you at? You finished that?
With
Sirach 7 and 27.
It's a
Ecclesiasticus.
It's an apocryphal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
I tell you what. Back this up to 23. Sirach chapter 7, verse 23 through 30.
Okay.
See, y'all, we ain't never, this new culture of letting your children instruct you and just come home and tell you how they feel. Y'all, if we got into the 72nd chapter of the Testament of Solomon and we understand why these demons, this ain't no child born. What you're saying technically is the God of the universe made a mistake when forming my child. She was supposed to be in a girl's body. How you going to go to church then? If he messed up at the beginning, how you going to get straightened out at the end?
Right.
And what you trusted in, your hope is gone, ain't it?
Should be.
You hoping that package go away and a woman package show up. No, the best y'all going to get, both of y'all be like Ken and Barty. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Book of Sirach.
Yeah.
Chapter 7 and verse 23.
Yeah.
Hast thou children?
That's a question. Go ahead. And if you do?
Instruct them and bow down their neck from their youth.
Keep them under obedience, y'all. Not ruling over them with an iron hand, but keep laying the law. If you call here and you done killed somebody or you done got caught selling drugs, don't do what? Go call here. When they ask you, do you want to make a phone call? No, it ain't going to do no good. Not for what I'm here for. You got the number to the public defender? That's a better chance for me. Because I can't call. What they got you down there for? Ray, they got Ray Jr. down there. What they got you for? Stealing and selling dope. Clicker. Let's get some more.
Hast thou daughters?
Uh-huh.
Have a care of their body.
Do what?
Have a care of their body.
Uh-huh.
And show not thyself cheerful towards them.
See, you got to always teach young women to respect their bodies. Because these wolves out here, and they got doctrine they want to attack when they 12 years old. You know, so you have to teach them. That's why Songs of Solomon 8 and 8. I got a little sister. Read a little bit of that for me. Read somebody real quick. Ecclesiasticus 8 and 8. No, I'm sorry. Songs of Solomon 8 and 8. Yeah. Just real quick. And Ezekiel 16. Real quick, so we understand how young women ought to be looked at and how we have to keep them in mind. And when Paul say, fathers, marry your daughters, that don't mean you marry your daughter.
Right.
Ain't no incest. What he's saying is make sure they get married. Don't let them wander out in the street and get high mileage on them.
Right.
Especially not while they in your house.
Right.
This is Song of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse 8.
Hold on, everybody there? Go ahead, bro. Everybody there?
We have a little sister.
What do we have?
A little sister.
Uh-huh.
And she have no breast.
What she have? No what?
No breast.
Uh-huh.
What shall we do for our sister in the day when she shall be spoken for?
Hold it right there, y'all. We got a few pages catching up, y'all. We're going to start that over.
All right.
Go ahead.
Verse 8 again.
Yeah.
We have a little sister.
Uh-huh.
And she have no breast.
Uh-huh.
What shall we do for our sister in the day when she shall be spoken for?
Right.
If she be a wall, we will build upon her a palace of silver.
Uh-huh.
And if she be a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar.
So, right here, if she be a wall, we're going to protect her so her breast ain't out. And if she be a door, if it's open individual, we're going to board that door up. We're going to protect her daughter. Because if not, it's going to be a bunch of prophets in the neighborhood. And what I mean by that, every time your parents go to work, that boy sneak over there. As soon as they go on to work, ain't gone 20 minutes, here he comes.
Right.
Sitting on the porch, working his way to ease into the door, thinking he fooling the neighbors, and then one neighbor just looking out the window. Look at his little slick eye. You know, and you working that, and now all the neighborhood become prophets when they see you sneak in there again. And you know what they say? Mark my words. That's what we're supposed to do as prophets, don't we? We mark the word down. Before school starts,
She gonna be pregnant.
she gonna have the big belly. And when school starts and she can't go back, you like this. What I say? You want to know today? I marked it down as soon as they got out of school, because that's when the boys started sneaking over there. Right after they got out of school for the year, I wrote that down. Did I write that down? Yeah, you wrote it down, dog. You wrote it down. You wrote it down, dog. What's the first commandment? I didn't write that down. Let's stick to the subject. You know what I'm saying? But you want to be a prophet of that. And everybody, yeah, she so said if the boy keeps sneaking over there, it's automatic, y'all. That don't make you a prophet. You keep sneaking in somebody's house when their parents ain't there, you're going to be a parent. Boy, look dead if you get caught. Yes, sir.
Now, as we older, and you talk about the boys, how did it feel us as dads that got daughters? You did that young man come to see you.
Boy, look here.
You know.
You looking sideways.
You know.
And you looking at him with a greasy mouth because, you know, if you like, shit, he got on Stacey Adams and Lean Man. Wait a minute, this boy may be like I was.
Right.
I was told you just don't want to find somebody like you.
What?
You're right.
Right.
You're exactly
You're absolutely right. Go ahead, Sister Paul.
My class classmate told me when she was a teenager and her father allowed her to have a boy over, he told her to go upstairs and put her girdle on. And when the boy came over, he told her what was going to happen.
Right.
Like, oh, Daddy, that ain't gonna happen. And the boy came over, she introduced him, he let them have their privacy. And all of a sudden, she said the dad heard the door close. And she came back and said, he did just exactly what you said he was going to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all, because we have to understand the honor of a virgin is no more. It's flipped, just like you telling your parents what to do. The difference is that was an honorable thing to make sure. But it became a thing as a badge of honor if you done that to a young virgin and you get to mark her off on your belt with no marriage. She's ruined now.
Yes.
And y'all have to understand the price value has dropped like driving a new car off the lot.
Yes.
Ain't the same Blue Book value, is it?
No, sir.
So it's not saying one and done ain't of high value anymore, but you can never brag about that. You can say, I got a 2016 with 8,000 miles on it. We'll say, oh man, that's a brand new car. Won't we say that? Yeah. Technically, it is a brand new car. Car ain't even broke in good 8,000 miles. The tires ain't loosened up yet. But you know what happens with that old car because somebody else done broke wind on the seat before you?
You said broke wind.
Yeah. That's what done happened with a used car. And there may be a booger on the side of the seat because somebody was driving it before you. It may look good and it may be shined up. But the thing says one owner.
Right.
That's a good thing, y'all. It's not a bad thing. Right. Understanding on how the one owner came to pass. It could be a one owner of her husband was in the war and got killed. That's a different type of one owner, ain't it? He could have died. She could have been raped. So we're not saying because that happened, it drastically lower the standards of a woman, but what it is, it ain't like when you say that new car, what?
Smells.
That's all we talking about, y'all. Go ahead, what else to say?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
I am a wall, and my breast like towers. Then was I in his eyes as one that found favor. Solomon had a vineyard at, what's that?
Well, you can hold there. I just want to get, when we're talking about our little sisters, because we have to protect our little sisters. Right. You know, most of these hobo Hebrews, they're chasing and they're looking for daughters that don't have no brothers, no fathers, no uncles that don't care about them. And if you do, they pull you away from that protection. Right. That where you say, hey, we looking after our little sister. You know, because they're actually teaching a doctrine you can start choosing up at 12. And what I want y'all to understand, I'm talking about that doctrine called polygyny that allows them to stack them all up against the rules of the Bible. The Bible say if. It's not a must. It's not a requirement. It says if. If he do, here's the rules. When you go against them rules and you're doing that to the daughters and you're finding the ones that don't have parents, they want to be loved so bad they join up. But it don't last long. It ain't going to last long because they still a woman. And they're still, Sirach, the 9th chapter, 1 through 4, staring every man in the face. It ain't one of them that's in the Bible that didn't have that static. And I want y'all to understand and protect the little sister. Now they're doing things that your little sister, they'll tell her, scare tactics. He just gonna cheat on you. See, you know who I'm gonna be with extra, so you just gonna cheat on me in my face. That's all you saying. Which side of the coin you using, you still ain't got no power or protection over. It's the same damn thing. I'm just letting y'all see how I'm sneaking around, but I ain't got no power over none of y'all for real. I can just go back and tell my buddies I got my women's in check. but on the inside it's burning like fire. Because the other one got up and cooked breakfast with that gown that's raggedy, so the other one's jealous. I didn't feel like getting up and cooking breakfast. You didn't treat me like that last night. I didn't feel like cooking breakfast, so what that meant? That meant some early sleep, wasn't it? Or you have to blame it on something. Because you're stacked up in one like that, y'all, but I'm going to move on because I ain't want to lose that thought. What you had, sis?
No, I was just thinking that that's how men think they become pimps.
Yeah.
When they get all these weak-minded women fighting over who gonna have sex with him first and who ain't, because of the situation that a lot of young girls might have been sexually molested when they was young or gave it up.
That's what we're talking about.
Kept their legs crossed.
Yeah.
And they lose their confidence or their value and think if it takes one man to think he rules over a whole mass of women, he weak and so are the women.
Well, the problem is the law say if a man take another wife. Here are the rules. So we won't get that said. There's a difference if a man take a bunch of women and dig in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? Because there's two different type of men, M-A-N, meeting all needs. And then there's M-A-N, mooching ass Negro. This one keep getting chosen. This one keep getting chosen. Meeting all needs is looked at as too nice.
Right.
He's too nice.
Until they get 35.
Let's get some more, y'all. Where we at?
What's them looks fade?
Yeah. Ezekiel 16, y'all. Yes, ma'am.
We want to also let the young women be aware that when they are with these single men or these men, the second part that you said. Watch when they give you things, because now
16.
these date drugs are still out there. Those
Yeah.
date drugs are still out there, and they are taking these young girls and they're disappearing with them. And once that they finish doing with the hallucination and all of that, they don't think they have anybody to go to.
Absolutely. And look, to them, low esteem is the best esteem. See, because you know you're used to being with a foot put in your rear end. Let's get some more. Where we at? Let's get that Ezekiel 16. And look, that was on the when Solomon was saying we got a little sister, we got to prepare her for marriage. And this is the Father, how he prepared us for marriage. You know, the same way. What it say? Hit 16 and 6. Read down that. And this is when the Most High is saying, when I married y'all. Y'all read verse 1 down to 6. But he's saying, when I married y'all, I took y'all as a like an arranged marriage, so to speak. But I waited for time. I didn't jump the gun. See, we didn't have a patience problem. Jacob waited 7 years, then he waited 7 more years, and then he waited 6 more years for one woman. He didn't go in there saying, I want you, 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 and you. He didn't go in there with that. He didn't care about no other one. We can't do 7 minutes up here when you see a woman, let alone 7 years, and you're waiting on your honeymoon night. You're talking about patience and restraint. Let's get some more. Where we at?
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 6. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. Yeah, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field, and thou hast increased and waxen great, and thou art come to excellent ornament. Thy breasts are fashion.
What are thy breasts?
Fashion.
And see, and this is doing it from a nation perspective. Look, the nation's got to be ready. The nation of the breast got to be ready, so to speak, to give suck to the children. You can't give suck with a flat chest. Women hated that name, didn't they? Here come Flat Chest. Go ahead. What else it say?
Thy breasts are fashioned.
Yeah.
And thine hair is grown.
What is thine hair is grown?
Grown. Whereas thou was naked and bare.
See, so now her breast is grown and hair is where it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's not a child. And this is him talking about how he married us. Then what else to say?
Verse 8.
Yeah.
Now when I passed by thee and looked upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love. And I spread my skirt over thee and covered thy nakedness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I swear unto thee and entered into a covenant with thee, said the Most High Yah, and thou becamest mine.
Y'all see that understanding of how he did today? He said, I waited till you grow up, Israel. And so likewise, a brother said a father, his daughter was same thing before he married her off. But bribery started to come in. You get a man with a little bit of money and he see your 6-year-old daughter, he already got his eye on her. And telling you already, you get that house I got in Florida near Disneyland. But I need her promise to me right now. But she only 7 or 8. Look, when you get into Jash and Nee, they'll try to make the excuse because it says Sarah was 10 when Abraham met her. So we see the same situation, how old they were before things took place. Long time. Rebecca was only 10 when Jacob, but Deborah the nurse was right there. Get on out of here, Isaac. She ain't ready yet. It'll be some years. Isaac didn't have no problem waiting. Jacob and Esau weren't born for 20 years after they got married. He was 40 when they got married, 60 when they was born. So she's at least between 20 and 30 years old for sure. When her walls got built up, and Deborah, who was the big mama, was right there. She ain't ready. We got to get her ready for a bride. Like the one woman who in Coming to America, how they groomed that girl up for Eddie, but she's full grown. The only thing, they didn't groom this up here. They just groomed to be a princess with an empty mind. Go ahead, what's that?
And the thing of it is, men are visual creatures.
Yeah.
And that's why even nowadays, the young girls
Shalom, sis.
walk around trying to look like they grown women and they're just children.
Well, look, we got a culture out here called the Kabbalah, where these so-called fake Jews read from the Kabbalah and the Talmud that say, if you want a boy, he got to be at least 9 years old. But a girl you can get at young age. The Mormons follow their practices. So what we're talking about, when you get into these respective person camps and different things, all of them end up going to jail for underage being fruitful and multiply. David Koresh, but they killed him first, but that's why they moved in. Jim Jones was doing it. Malachi York was doing it. He's doing 160 years for both boys and girls. The boy that's the head of the Mormons, same thing. Jim J. He's doing 112 years. You have all the women you want. He got 37 wives, but a 12-year-old sets you on fire. Look, old Pastor Dow, he got in with Straightway. The one who started that old heathen. He's got some molestation charges on him. Not Dow, the one who trained Dow. Yeah. He's got heavy charges on him. And they asked about, what about the charge? Well, we broke away from him. Oh, you like breaking away like you breaking away from Jack Parham on the Seventh-day Adventist, huh? Or the way you break away from the Jehovah's Witness like Charles Taz Russell, the founder, is a Freemason and buried under a Mason headstone. That's what you breaking away from. Well, you ain't broke away from the tree. The root's still there. Let's get some more, y'all. We finished with that Zed. Let's move on, y'all. Let's get Ephesians 6, 1 through 4. And y'all, what we're talking about is honoring your mother and your father, no matter what state or condition they've been put in. The authority has been granted to them to be looked at like the Father. and mother of heaven, so to speak. But we ain't seen a mother in heaven yet. We're going to clear up that wisdom of Solomon 7 so you don't get this misunderstood. Because in your mental, you'll be saying the Father is Baphomet. Because you can't put a woman up there. But he brings that down so you understand. Wisdom, one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit, is to be looked at like a mother. Because when you got in trouble, you couldn't run, and your daddy wasn't going to hug you, was he? Huh? Boy, look here. Our beloved Ozil ben Israel say when he was a teenager, say he was getting run home every day. Say his mama was hugging him. His daddy said, no, I'm going to be at the door when he run in here this time. He said he was running. Say them boys was right on his heel. He hit that gate and hit them steps. His father had the door open standing. He slammed it shut. He had to turn around and scrap there. And he like, look, if they come here and whoop you, they going to come in the inside next. Hell, if they whoop you in front of me. So no, he didn't have to worry about, he walked home after that. No more running.
That's usually all it took.
That's all it took.
All you gotta do, all we had to do was stand up to them. They quit messing with you.
Yes, sir.
They went on to somebody else.
And y'all, ain't nothing wrong if you see a boy, because the script say a boy and his mama, that's a good thing. Ain't nothing wrong, but now there's a difference between a mama's boy and a boy that love his mama. Two different things. A boy that love his mama gonna make sure he don't put his mama in any of a situation that cause chaos between him and his wife. Right. That's problems, ain't it?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to have to be every time the argument start about your mama biscuits. My mama biscuits. No.
She gonna hit you in the head with the rolling pin.
Look here. Let's get some more. Ephesians 6, 1 through 4.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6. Start the reading in verse 1. Everybody there?
Go ahead, I'll catch up with you. Go ahead.
Children, obey your parents in the Most High.
Do what?
Obey your parents in the Most High.
See, that added word, how do they have to obey their children?
In the Most High.
See, that tells you so you don't get to do it your own way. You have to obey your parents in the way the Father teaches it. Love your parents. Don't ever disrespect them. Yes, there's times and we know things going to cause problems in a relationship, but there's a line you don't want to cross because you'll end up doing that. Your children will end up doing it to you if you have.
Sure will happen.
You know, so we have to be careful when we're going to get to those scripts that where you don't just because you're the parent, you get to say, and then you'll do like Miriam and Aaron did. Has the Lord only spoken to you? I'm a prophetess, but the Lord ain't never put his face on you like he did Moses. And I'm a high priest. I go into the Holy of Holies. But the Lord ain't put his face on you like he did Moses. You disrespect Moses, you disrespecting me. But Moses, there was a line he couldn't cross because he put that face on Moses. Moses could only represent the Most High, and that's clear with no sin, and that allowed his face to be respected. But the minute he struck that rock, when he said the children of Israel clowning me, he said, speak to the rock and it'll bring water forth. Right. In his anger, he hit that rock. Should we? The Lord like, wait a minute, when you start speaking French, Moses, we? What's this we? You gonna sanctify yourself with me? Even though he had that glow, he couldn't move up to that level. So in our minds, when we respect our parents as like unto the Most High, there's a line you can't go across with that. My mama can't do no wrong. I know what the Bible say, but my mama can't do no wrong. You better fix them words that's coming out of your mouth.
Right. Right on that. So, your parents did something that's really bad.
Yeah.
You know, some things they do just really, really bad to you. How do you honor them if it's something you can't get over?
Well, all we're talking about is don't show dishonor, because you can't do evil for evil, right? The respect thing is to find out what you may need to do. You may have to mention it to somebody if something's going on, but usually the Most High will take care of that. He sees something like that, he gonna put you on Front Street. You know, because when you show up at a McDonald's and you've been texting a 12-year-old and they told you they were gonna ride their scooter up there, and then the next thing you know, you see the feds jumping out of cars and they got all of the text messages. How would you like to be a real woman at 12? A real woman? Apparently you don't know what that is, and you out here in the parking lot with a 12-year-old. You ain't seen a real woman. Finish that up.
Ephesians 6:1.
Yeah.
Children, obey your parents in the Most High, for this is right.
What is this?
It is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
Y'all understand that it's the first commandment with promise, but it's, so when you look at the first 5 and it says honor thy mother, you were like, well, that's earthly. That should go with the rest of the 5. It should be 6 for them. No, because he puts his face on your parents to see if you respect order. If you won't respect it on earth, how you gonna bend down and I just want to thank you. I don't want to be like my mama and daddy, just some old fogies and don't know how to get with the times, Lord. Oh, and you think he hearing that? Let's read some more.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
That it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
See, y'all see how Paul keep getting back to the law. The maniac talking about what Paul, he's right back to the law again, because it may be do what?
Well on the earth. You good?
Yeah.
Verse 4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath.
Yeah.
But bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Most High.
See, so there's a level with your children, a line you can't cross. You can't just rough your son up. You have him intimidated and scared to death of you. That's going to be trouble. Just all of a sudden, then I tell you to take that trash out and steal him in the jar. What did I tell you? I told you to change that flat tire out there. And he's still going over his ABCs. You know how you write them. Over the line, over the dotted lines. You treating him like a man already. You a man. He's a child. He's not a grown man. He's still a child. Don't roughshod over him to make him fear you, because sooner or later you're going to get older and you're going to slow down and your reflexes ain't going to be sharp as they used to be. So when you go to reach and grab him, he may move his hand back.
What you have done will be done to you.
Boy, look here, and you may have to holler uncle to your son. Uncle, you gonna do your daddy like this? Look. But it should be just grab the hand and just, Dad, I'm getting my hat. I'm getting ready to go. That's as far as it should go.
Respect.
You know, I'm going to go. I'm going to leave now. And you're just holding his hand to keep him from hitting you. But you may have to really tighten down on the hand, but it ain't going to be like disrespect around the neighborhood. Knocked his daddy out. Knocked him the... And who gonna hold your hand up like this? And the winner of knocking his daddy out in public. Or the daddy who chastises his son. You can't want to live your life through your children. That was your life, this theirs.
That's right.
You can't run out on the football field and take the ball from him and take off. Let your daddy show how it done. In the middle of a Pee Wee League game? Let's get some more, y'all. A lot of parents, you know, because they dream and go well in a band, they children, they have them, you know, as an adult too quick. See, because they're thinking about the glory for themselves, they're grown. No way Michael Jackson should have been in a nightclub at 8 years old. Shalom, y'all. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Ain't no way. Michael Jackson should have been living a grown man's life, but his daddy was looking through his eyes.
Money.
I want to be a singer. I want to be on top of the chain. But I was in the wrong era when this thing was coming up. If I had been where he's at. Let's read some more. Where we at?
We're going to the book of Proverbs.
Yeah. We're going to hit a couple one-liners, y'all. And then we're going to move to the next level because we got to deal with from father to son to father. So that you understand how this thing is twofold. There's men on earth that we looked at with the face of the father. We call him Abraham. What's the word you put before that? Father. What you say again? Father who? Abraham. We got to see why we had to call him that. But we couldn't call him Holy Father Abraham. That would have been a problem.
Right.
But we'll see when a man is put in that status that you see him coming and you recognize him as that. Not that you calling him the Father, but he's wearing the face of the Father. Many shall come from the east and the west and sit down with who in the kingdom? Amen. And who else? And who else? That's what it says. Many will come from the east and the west and will sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom. So they locked and loaded in the kingdom. But they never heard those words while they were breathing air. They still had to work to get there. But we're hearing the words that they made it. So if they made it all, that tells us then it's an easy walk. Then we need to do exactly like them three did. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Follow them covenant believers. And then if they made it, it should be said the same thing about us.
Right.
We should be Revelation 6 and 9 under the souls under the altar if we do what they do and go to paradise. Like the rich man. And he went to the other side and the beggar at the gate. What you got over there too, about?
KC Field asked in the chat, what if your mama whooping your butt and you catch her belt? Is that dishonoring her?
No, that's...
Oh,
look here.
I did it.
You about
Credit, boy.
You know, you got... Look here, you got further in the affliction, and then you got stopping further in the affliction. At least for a brief minute till they say, if you don't let that go, you're going to get worse than that. Boy, you just trying to get a little bit of relief. Look, just like Job was.
It turned to knife play with me.
Look, when Job was
said,
suffering.
you can have that belt.
Yeah. Oh,
Fling.
Hope.
Then use the belt around my leg so I couldn't run no more.
See what y'all look. A lot of times, you know, and that's what we have to understand is when you get older, do you say, I'm glad she did that.
Yeah,
because if she didn't, I know where I would be. Y'all, and this is the patience level. But we're not talking about abuse. We're talking about, it says discipline.
That's right.
Discipline means to correct wrong. We're not talking about that rough talking, curse you out to bring you to understanding. Hollering off a breezeway, get your black mother in the house, and all your friends looking. Yeah, my mama tripping.
We know.
Yeah, yes sir. So y'all, that's why we have to understand it's a balance in the household. The father is turning over everything. He's got to look. Reason he can't do his son like that is because if something happens to him, who's next in line in the house?
Right.
I mean, he's trembling like a battered woman. How is he going to protect the house? He's next in line.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want the responsibility.
I won't do it no more.
Right. Just come back to life. No, he can't come back. Where we at? Read that again.
All right, I ain't read nothing yet.
Oh, okay.
We're in the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, and we're going to read verses 8 and 9.
Yeah, we're going to run through a couple one-liners, y'all, because this is wisdom, and then we're going to get into that. So you understand this clearly when the Most High said, you can wear my face. Children, your father and mother have my face on. Don't y'all disrespect them. Fathers, you got my face on. Don't you disrespect your children. You ain't never seen me do that to the Messiah. Have you? Have you ever heard the Father cuss out the Messiah? Have you ever heard the Messiah say any other word? He said, why you callest me good? There's none good but one. That's the Father. Ain't never heard no disparaging words. But we got groups out here in the camp that talk about Father Abraham because he listened to Sarah when he said, get rid of Hagar. See, our Father Abraham went off. He went off.
Abraham was a friend of God.
Look, and he went to the Most High and asked him. And the Most High told him, do what your wife say to do concerning this situation. And you still let it come out of your mouth that he went off because you're thinking carnal. You're so wrapped up in a woman having any voice or authority, so to speak, concerning a matter. Look, ain't a individual woman in the Bible that had handmaids was automatically ordered to give them to her husband when they got married. Leah and Rachel didn't do it. They gave because Laban gave them to them before they got married. That's still their property. Sarah was given Hagar even when they were married, but that was her choice. Abraham went to the Lord. She want to give me her handmaid. He likes to do what she say. But he didn't just frolic and, have some dollar Walmart candles burning and went right at it. The script say, and she became his what? Wife. But he didn't orchestrate that. Neither did Isaac. Neither did Jacob, and only 2 of the children of the 12 tribes had more than one wife. Only 2. So it wasn't like a learned behavior that it was forced on us. It was if a man is found in this position. And he take these are the rules. It wasn't no thing. Isaac say, I'm 125 and I've been with the same woman since I've been married. In the testament of Isaac. Ain't thought about looking a different way. Y'all, this don't mean we're saying, y'all into that simple. No, what we're saying is there's rules for everything. Yes. And power, when it says as unto the Lord, there's a line you still can't cross with a woman. You can't be the Lord to her like you gonna pass judgment. You see what happened to Moses. He was granted authority and respect when Miriam and Aaron talked against him because he had the face of God on. But when he elevated himself in this dying, stinking flesh and said, should we? He broke the rules with that face on. Y'all understand what he said? And both him and Aaron was court-martialed and told, get up to the mountain and die. How dare y'all do that in front of everybody? So in front of everybody, go up there and die so everybody can see. Remember, you came from there and got them rules. Now go back up there and die from what you did. You can look over, but you ain't going in there with him. But he didn't take the promise from him. Moses would be there because he showed up at the Mount of Transfiguration. What you got over there, Theo?
I was going to say that the job of a husband or a leader, having leadership of anybody, is to lead them in the order that you're under.
Absolutely.
You don't have control over them, but I'm just a leader leading the way that I'm on.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you're an effective leader, they'll follow you. They'll see how consistent you are. We're doing what the Most High say, and then they'll follow.
It's vice versa. You can't use Ephesians 5 and say, woman, submit yourself to your husband and not read the rest of the husband responsibility. This is one side of the coin, ain't it? You got some loving, you got to do some responsibilities, and they must meet the mark. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Emo. Let's get some more.
All right, family. The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 8.
Yeah.
My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother.
You see how the Most High don't ever separate that? He don't ever separate one flesh. If he don't come in between it, what you look like letting some other man come in between it and dictate what ought to be said. If the Father won't do it, how do you allow a man to come in and do it?
Right.
Our counselors always been our court system. Right. They're called our lawyers and different things because we had our own nation. But you didn't settle the matter and say, I'm God. Once it get past your authority like an unruly child, You took them to the elders. If you got an unruly wife, you take her to the elders of this system. If you married and say, she's unruly, I have to do something. Take my name out of y'all court system. But you just can't write up no piece of paper. And you write it up after y'all have been in the honeymoon chamber. We's married. W-E-E-Z. Married.
M-A-R-E-E-D.
Don't nobody know about her parents, ain't got a clue. Last thing they know, you borrowed some money from them and they ain't seen you.
Right.
Now you can't go back. See, because it's a whole different doctrine. They may quote a scripture, but it's modern day Pharisee and Sadducees. They seducing and they're sad, you see, with what they teach. Let's read some more.
Let me read the second witness to that. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother.
Absolutely, the law of thy mother. See, young women have to learn that too as they growing up, so they understand what position they supposed to be in. Y'all, we got to get this thing correct. And once you say or show a scripture as unto the Lord, then you must be moving and in vibration just like the Lord. You can't tell her that and you don't provide anything and the Lord provides for you. Can you? Yep. If you're going to be like unto the Lord, you got to make sure clothing there, don't he? Yep. He said, when you do it, when I was naked, you clothed me, right? Yep. But when you don't, you done it to the least of me. You didn't clothe your children. You didn't clothe your household, and yet you want to be looked at like God?
Right.
And you ain't doing what the Most High does.
Right. Basic stuff.
How is she working from the sweat of her brow? And your thumbs got blisters on them.
Right.
I'm talking about skating blisters on their thumbs. You know how your dad had skating blister?
Did you bring my batteries?
Boy, look here. Go ahead, what you got, bro?
Verse 9.
No, too bad I had something real quick. Go ahead.
Casey Field had another question. She said, what about the children whose fathers spend time in jail the majority of their childhood, which usurp authority after such a long time? How does that work?
Usurping authority when they come home?
I think she's basically saying how a father go to jail a long time, come home and try to reassert himself as father or whatnot, but that child will kick against him because he's been gone for so long.
Well, the bottom line is, whose house is he in? Did the mother let him come back in? See, because then if the house is knit back together, that don't take away his thing because he went to jail.
Right.
He just made a poor decision. That don't take his fatherhood away. He may have missed the grooming years that he really needed to be around his son, so he can't come back in expecting 14, 15, and 16 type of training, and now this boy 18 and finna graduate high school.
But if you raised him even from jail, if you had that certain relationship with him, it ain't gonna do that.
Because hopefully you ain't went to jail on no BS. Right. That's a totally different thing. Go ahead.
And if Most High God established the ordinance of the father, you still respect the father, but he can still come home and infiltrate in the child. Don't make the same mistake I made and do what I did and teach them even.
Absolutely. Ezekiel 18.
A positive way.
Right. Ezekiel 18, what sister speaking of is if the son don't do what the father did.
Right.
And how he don't do that. Look, what Ham did to Noah, Shem and Japheth didn't. Right. They took a sheep and walked backwards. Even though he was in that position, they didn't do what Ham did. They still had that respect, even though their father was found in dishonor at that moment. Because it said Noah got what? Drunk is the sin, ain't it? Yeah. Not drinking. But when you done had too much and you fall out and you leave your covering unprotected, you sleep and the wolf in the room with your woman.
Right.
And they can't shake you and wake you up. Nothing. When they do shake you mumbling. Incoherent. They like, yeah, that's the out signal. He's out cold at this point when he mumble like that. I can make a book of talk. He's like, yeah, he gone. He gone.
You gonna make a book of talk?
Yeah. Let's go on and let's go on and do our thing. He won't be woke for a couple more hours. Let's get some more, y'all.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck.
Yes, sir. That's what you get for that honor. You get that jewelry, not a chain of dishonor. Been watching that BMF, that Black Mafia family. They got the chains on, big old chain, but he told his daddy, that's your lifestyle. I don't want that lifestyle. So you don't want to work, and you want that fast, quick money and death right like this for every time you walk out the door. You can't ride around nowhere. You can't go nowhere because death right there. You look good, but death is right there. Them clothes could be bloody as hell. For the quick money, quick money like this, and you tell your parents, I don't want to live this life, but you still ain't got your own home yet. They still ain't got their own crib, and I'm up to episode whatever. Now they making power moves with the dope dealer,
Right.
but they still come home to that address. Y'all, it's like that, and then the daddies try to throw you out, but then he lose his job. He done pulled a James Evans. He done been fired 3 times in one week.
One episode.
One episode. Yeah, go ahead. Where we at, bro? Go ahead.
That's it on them two.
So y'all, and we understand what y'all talking about. If the father run off, Moses' daddy run off. But when he come back, he got big respect. You know, so what we're talking about is that don't change things because the mother is there and with the instruction. That's why we can't leapfrog over her and treat her a certain way. That's why wisdom is attributed to her, not to the father. And ain't that crazy? Now you think about that. The father has the power, but wisdom, the gift of wisdom, the mother is to be looked at like that.
Right. There's a similar time.
Close to your bosom, because that's where wisdom should always be, making you make the right decision. Your mother will never tell you to make the wrong decision unless she tripping like Jezebel. Hold on, Aliyah.
Is the mother supposed to be prayer warrior in the family?
Oh, yeah. Most times.
Well, we all should pray because they asked the Father, how should we pray? This is how we pray. Go in the closet. Our Father. So the mother do the same exact thing.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody prays in the house. Your mother will pray more for you than your dad.
Right.
Look, because technically you have a stronger bond to your mother than your father, even though you came from him, but you lived in that apartment in her stomach for almost 10 months.
Right.
You know her well. She knows you well. He can smell his mother and different things like that. He don't smell the daddy like that.
Right.
No, he used to smell it. He lay him on the chest, the smell of taco meat, which is just after her, you know, and some boot by Fabergé. He like, this ain't my mom. Go ahead. What you gotta say?
And even in the mother's womb, a baby can tell if the mother is
Stress.
depressed or stressed
Absolutely.
out because it's tension in her uterus and
Yeah.
it affects the child.
Yeah. Real quick, y'all, while we got a little time, let me see. Real quick, Judges 13. Real quick, I just want y'all to understand what she's just saying about what happens in the womb. And then that wisdom is going to break down how things are put together in the womb. But we're going to look at Samson's mom. See, his father was out of the picture at this point. When it comes down to the baby, he just plant what he need to do. But the mother takes over after that. A little bit of Judges 13. What did it say? I'm just talking about when the angel came to him.
Which verse?
Let me see real quick. 1 second, Judges 13. We're going to start about. Okay, we'll start about verse 1 down to 6. Down to 7. Yeah, that's good. Down to 7. 1 through 7. And y'all understand what we're talking about, the respect. Look, no matter what your mother doing now that you come to age and knowledge, if you're healthy, if you ain't on the verge of being a lunatic, the 9 months she did with you was successful. If you disrespect that, like you had control in the womb. No, if you popped out with them 7 good senses and able to function and to realize what's going on, that was some safety in the womb no matter how bad she was. LeBron James' mama was a crack addict and had her when she was 16. So y'all, we're not saying because the father ain't there or the mother in this position, as long as the mother is being respected, he will fill the shoes of the father. I'm only saying in the position that you can see that whatever little father he had, he protects his mother. There's a covering over the household. It's 1 Tim 5. It's Numbers 30 that when, if a father dies, now the young man moves up, he's the next in line. Because it say if his mother a widower, right, he has to look out for her like his father would. Them the things that move you up the ladder and let you know you've been getting trained just right. You know the rules, what I need to be doing. If my daddy was here, because he would be doing that. Right. Let's get some more. Where we at? You ain't got nothing out there to do. You too bad.
I think I do, but give me a minute to read it.
Okay, we're going to go on with this Judges till you find it. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 13, verse 1.
Yeah.
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Most High.
Who did that evil?
The children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Most High.
Yeah.
And the Most High delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah. And his wife was barren and bare not.
See, so it started off with a certain man. So it's speaking of the father first. Okay, let's read some more.
And the angel of the Most High appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive, and bear a son. Now therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing.
And that's what we're told today if a woman's pregnant, ain't she? Yeah. You can't be doing no drinking. While you pregnant, you could fall. You know, everything you put in your mouth goes through that umbilical cord. Let's get some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come upon his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto Yahweh from the womb.
Right.
And he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
Right.
Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of Yahweh came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of Yahweh.
So right here, she immediately went home and told her husband, I've been in a conversation with another man. Go ahead.
Very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing, for the child shall be a Nazarite to Yahweh from the womb to the day of his death.
So now just skip down to verse 13, because he's talking to the husband now, because the Most High don't leave the husband out of the conversation. Just like he talked to Mary, he talked to Joseph, didn't he? Right. He talked to Elizabeth, he talked to John the Baptist dad. Right. So it ain't never the chief counselor leave one part out.
Right. That's right. That's right.
See, a husband and wife went to court together. Not with these makeshift camps during the day. How you going to send your wife and sit her amongst a bunch of wolves? And talking about, we going to make judgment on what? I'm going to counsel you and your wife on what? Illegal marriage? How you going to counsel what don't have a seal of what's called an approval? I don't care what document you have. It must have a seal of approval. If you got a high priest, what a seal at? At least somebody know y'all supposed to be together. It's got a seal on it. Let's read some more.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
And the angel of the Most High said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine.
Nothing off the vine. Go ahead.
Neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I command let her observe.
So y'all can read the rest of that, but why we wanted to go to that is just telling you the power. It starts with the mother of the child. Everything after that, the father come into play. But she's got to make sure that child ain't stressed out. Yes, ma'am.
That goes along with today in today's term. You tell a mother you can't eat certain things while pregnant.
Right.
Or certain gestations will occur. When that's why women say they have toxemia.
Right.
And different other things that happen to the body during pregnancy. Those things are still the same. Mr. was just saying, nothing new under the sun.
Absolutely.
That's why women don't drink when they're pregnant.
Absolutely. And they shouldn't do a lot of other things that they got to worry about is going to the child. Look, if you do more after the child comes out of the womb, if you did more for that when they were in the womb, they're out of there now. You can't cause problems for that, and then because your spirit is going to be hurt. Yeah, I know that because I was mixing that Grey Goose and shoe polish. That
Grey Goose and shoe polish. Man, that's just some buzz. What kind of buzz you trying to get?
Look, that's R&R. You know that liquor they say tastes like shoe polish.
Oh man, no.
Shoe polish liquor.
Shoe polish.
The child is going to have trouble coming out. It's some things called hereditary. That's passed on. That's why we have to make sure, we minimize these sins so that we don't pass them on to your offspring in the womb. That behavior will show up. Let's get some more. Yes, ma'am.
That's the reason why they act a lot of women don't want to breastfeed.
Right.
Because even during that breastfeed, it goes into the baby as well.
Yeah. But it's safer because, be careful out there, because of the enzymes and different things in them. You know that people use baby milk just about for everything, or breast milk, I should say. You know, for everything, put it on face, on eczema, and different things like that, because it has all of those enzymes and different things to build those building blocks in a baby. That stuff is super potent.
That's right.
And it helps them to grow, so it helps fight off the trouble that's in there. But to have a child born with the Spirit on it,
Come on.
like John the Baptist, and like Samson we just read about here, that means nothing went in defiled. Like Mary, the mother of our Messiah, nothing, because she was told the same thing: don't mess up. But you got camps out here to say Joseph is the daddy. That means she's messed up. She lusted before the marriage ceremony. Y'all understand what we're saying? Then we could eliminate Christ when we get to go to this Isaiah 9, as when it say the everlasting Father. See, it's some words they missing out of there. Hey, look, trying to make Christ the Father. No, we ain't trying to make him nothing. You're not reading the prophecy right. It's simple. Understand that when we get to it, we're going to make it clear. But y'all, it's a hit on the Messiah, y'all. That's what all this work about. It's a hit on Paul because all he talked about was the Messiah. Notice everybody, the thing is the hit on the Messiah. If we move the intercessor out of the way, if we dirty up the ones that's supposed to forgive our transgression, we dirty him up, then we are okay. Because all we have to wait on now is Ezekiel 34 and Ezekiel 37 to come to pass. David will be back. David's a sinner. But you waiting on him to come back for? He's going to be a prince. If he's resurrected, he's going to be like Michael the archangel in Daniel 12th chapter. That great prince, Michael. But a hierarching angel, that's what David will be like. A hierarching, ranking angel if he's resurrected. David won't be swiveling hips no more. It won't be the same king. He'll be like Michael. He'll be underneath Christ. He'll be ranked under all of the angels that never sinned or transgressed. David, the chief prince, an archangel now. But he won't be walking around and get into no more Bathsheba-isms. No more. Well, we at, sis, what you got?
No, I was just gonna say that breastfeeding was what God intended for a child to be fed, not the milk of a cow, not of any other milk, because it had it was an immune system for the baby from the time it came out of the mother's womb, and what infiltrated through the mother to the baby was the immune system. In other words, preparing them for the world.
Well, like, understand this though, what we're talking about is until they wean.
Yeah.
Like Isaac was weaned, then he may have drank milk from another individual. But what a wean is, them teeth at the bottom coming in, and maybe two at the top. You can't be suckling. You know how if you ever had a dog that had puppies, when that one be biting too hard, what she do to him? Get out of here. No more for you. You're off of it now. It's time for gravy train. So when you get off, because we got too many scriptures about goat milk and drinking goat milk. But this is of them that say who've come of age. You can't, it's not nursing milk. Breast milk is nursing milk. After that, it's just a smooth treat. As long as it's prepared right.
So, Brother Daniel,
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying that the breasts are not just for prettiness.
No.
They're
No.
for purpose.
They're for purpose. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I just thank the Most High that he made women the way he made.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, he kept it clean. Let's get some more, y'all. We're going to keep this clean. We ain't got but a little while longer. Right. Well, look, the script said it was clean. Like that, I mean, he made it appealing to the man's eyes. But you're not to look at that beauty too far, because she was made. You can't look at her greater than you look at the maker, because she was made by him. She breathing his air. How you gonna put her above him? Let's read some more. Where we at?
We're going to Proverbs 22, ain't we?
Yeah.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
22, y'all. We're gonna hit one. We're gonna hit a couple more, y'all, and then we're gonna get into. I need to really get into this Isaiah and clean it on up with these fathers who were called fathers on earth. Father Abraham, and we need to understand, being coming up of many nations, of what this is when it's saying honor your mother and your father. Y'all, we got to make sure. Because sometimes with clown, I had to tell sis, I ain't gonna say that about my grandmama no more, sorry. I made a powdered milk joke, so I have to remember that, because she's still my grandmama. Yeah, so we have to be careful, y'all, because every idle word, y'all still must be always respect that. Let's read some more. Where we at?
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Rob not the poor,
Uh-huh.
because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate.
Uh-huh.
For the Most High will plead their cause, and spoil the soul of those that spoil them.
Uh-huh.
Make no friendship with an angry man.
Do what?
Make no friendship with an angry man.
Uh-huh.
And with a furious man thou shalt not go.
Right.
Lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul.
See, and that's talking about a lot of times when you hear an angry man, somebody always talking about what they used to do and they'll kill. If you then start talking about what you used to do, you've jumped back into that lifestyle again.
Right.
You know, the conversation should be, don't even go there. Just let them get it out of them. Because, yeah, dog, I remember when I had to roll up on them cats down there, you know, had caused that trouble at the Regal Room, but we had it set, dog. I remember. No,
That was you?
Yeah, that was me. So you have to remember not to go back into that lifestyle. So they don't keep bringing it up, because they need a rider. They need a shotgun man. He's testing to see who the shotgun man is. I remember your walk. Your name was in the world. paper I'm speaking of. You know, so, yes, sir. So, y'all, we're talking about that, looking for a ride and die, and see if you truly put that old man away, but it's different understanding now. And you really got to be careful of who you are with an angry man, because he done called somebody out and he's sitting on your passenger side. That could be trouble for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some more, y'all. Let's speed this up. Go ahead.
Where was that? Oh, verse
25.
26.
Uh-huh.
Be not thou one of them that strike hands, or of them that are sureties for debt.
Strike hands, y'all. See, what's the new custom now? When we talking loud, right? You don't want me to pop the trunk. Because if I pop the trunk, see, you want it to sound like thunder, like you scaring somebody. And when you pop the trunk, ain't nothing in there but old oil bottles and fuel injected cleaner bottles. Ain't nothing in the trunk.
You gonna hide in the trunk. That's
Because look, what is it? Trouble is outside the trunk.
Right.
And you're saying if I pop it, you think somebody gonna give you time to pop the trunk?
yeah,
Look, because you
better not even go toward the trunk.
look. Let's read some more. What it say?
Oh, we keep going. Oh, my bad.
27.
27. If thou hast nothing to pay, why should he take away thy bed from under thee?
Uh-huh.
Remove not the ancient landmark which thy father have set. Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men.
Let's see, what I wanted to do was bag that up just a bit, bro. I really wanted 15.
That ain't what you got on.
Yeah, I
that
know
paper.
what I got on that, bro. Okay, I was writing fast.
15 don't look like 22.
Yeah. Huh? Did I say 7 verses? 7, 15, and 7 is
22 to
okay,
26.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just messing with
That's
you.
4 verses.
Go ahead.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child,
Uh-huh.
but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
See, foolishness is bound in the... So you can't let a child lead the way. Foolishness is already in them, and you're putting your whole life and everything about the house, everything going into the possession of a child who ain't got past, her walls ain't even built up yet. His voice ain't start cracking yet. See, that's how we would get the signal if we had a son to watch out for him when he's ready to head into manhood. If we don't hear about it, or he don't tell us about a nocturnal emission, the Most High gonna make sure his voice crack. And that's gonna let us know. When he say, hey Dad, we still gonna work on the car. You like, wait a minute. Say that again. Hey Dad, we still gonna work on the car. Like, no. Boy, what you know about a girl, a woman? You got a girlfriend? That's when the conversations have to start, because he's able to make life at this point. The voice cracking lets you know, just like a woman gets to know when her child comes into her flower. Every time she walking like this and she sore to the touch, you like, uh-oh. We can't have nothing around her now. She finna get it. Phone calls start being made. I think it's almost time she getting that tender across the chest. So you get warnings for children, and then you start teaching them after that. Because a young woman now has to be trained through Leviticus 15, and so does a man, because they have cleansing laws now. You think because she's 11 and a flower come over, she get to escape the cleansing laws? No, she have to obey to them. You can't send her to school like that and ain't got no her saddle pack with her.
Right.
You want to have her wearing Gucci, but she ain't got her emergency kit with her.
And these kids now is rough, so it's gonna be rough on her when they find out.
Let's get some more of this, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
He that oppresses the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise, and apply them and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. For it is a pleasant thing if thou keep them within thee.
You can hold up. Where we at? What verse you in?
18.
18? Go ahead, keep reading.
They shall with all be fitted in thy lips, that thy trust may be in the Most High. I have made known to thee this day, even to thee. Have not I written to thee excellent things in counsel and knowledge?
So we can hold right there because we're going to reread that. That would jump right back there. But 30 and 17 real quick. And give me Tobit 4 and 3. And then we're going to get into the heart. We're going to move now because all that was the Father putting his face on individuals. So, and what I want y'all to understand when I'm saying put his face on the individual, when they shine with his glory.
No, 38.
When a son has kept his father's good name, he's got his father's face on him. You, even though his father passed on, like the book say, it'll be like his father is still living the way you conduct yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You just like your father, good works. What you got, bro?
So, like, what you're saying is your father's name or anybody in the family is what protects the people when they're gone. So your father's job is to protect, to problem solve, to provide.
Yeah.
He can do all that when he's gone with his name.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
So children, when they go to get stuff and they say, hey, your money no good, I knew your father.
I knew your father. Well, your money ain't no good around here.
So you good. You know, I got you. So they need protection. So I'll go protect Sister Mary Ann and their children because I know their father, Todd or whoever, and he was a good man. His name is good. So it's important that we don't mess up the name of our father because that's our protection. That's our,
absolutely.
Provision when he's not here.
Absolutely, bro. You know, because you're just a mirror image of him and they can keep conducting the same business.
Right.
You know, like the king of Tyre, I'm talking about the boy that sent Solomon the wood. His daddy was in the same craft. Right. He just passed it down to him. Mm-hmm. Solomon dealt with him, but his daddy dealt with David. Right. Let's read some more. Where we at?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 17.
Yeah, we got one more one hit of the Tobit 4 and 3, and then we're gonna get into the Matthew. From father to son to father. Contrary to belief, Christ is the everlasting Father. I'm not saying he's the Almighty, but when we get in this Isaiah 9, you'll understand it perfectly once we give that title to Abraham. How you gonna say about Abraham and you gonna say it and you can't say it about somebody that never? Abraham ain't never cast out demons. Abraham ain't never made the blind to see, raised the dead, resurrected. But yet you won't call him. You can't attach Father to his name because you think we're saying he's taking the heavenly Father's place. No, he ain't doing what Moses did and sanctify himself above the law. The Messiah ain't never championed himself. He say, my father, didn't he? Mm-hmm. And the Father say, my son, did he? What did you ever hear the Messiah name his Father's name? Or did he just say, my Father? Did you ever hear the Father say, no, you have to say Yahweh Shai or Yehoshua or Emmanuel? Or what did the Father call him to everybody? My son. Ain't got to have nothing about a name. This my son. His works represent me. I ain't got to tell you his name. If I tell you his name, then you're going to start trying to check his lineage. See if he keeping the commandments and you'll know he my son. Because my children do what I tell them to do. Like my mama say, don't open the door for nobody, and I mean nobody, till I get home from work. My auntie came over, worked at Children's Hospital. We live in a project. Had on a nursing outfit. I got to pee real bad. My mama say, don't open the door. People, y'all some crazy children. Them children's crazy, yours. I told them, don't open the door. What if it's the Messiah? He don't need a key. He'll just walk in. So don't worry about him.
You got to open the door.
Just don't open the door for nobody else. I don't care who it is. Let's read some more.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 17.
What it say?
The eye that mocketh at his father and despiseth to obey his mother, the ravens of the valley shall pick it out. And the young eagles shall eat it.
So y'all saying that's what happened to an individual that scream on his mom die. You get your body ready for the worms to pick on it. You ain't good enough for hyena and wild dogs to chew on your flesh. Y'all, this is what we're talking about. And then we always say, well, what about if they do this? If you ain't become a parent yet, or you a parent, what these rules are doing is saying you don't want your children to follow these ways and do it to you. It's always a hierarchy. You know, and once we keep that structure like we supposed to, only looking at them with that face, they're here to protect me. Look, when you're a child, who do they call? Your parents, don't they? Mm-hmm. If it ain't no parent, then there's a guardian they have to call. Mm-hmm. Someone who's in charge to deal with your situation. Let's read some more. Tobit, real quick. Hit that real quick. 4 and 3.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 3.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
And when he had called him, he said, my son, when I am dead, bury me.
Do what?
Bury me. And despise not thy mother.
And do what?
Despise not thy mother. But honor her all the days of thy life. And do that which shall please her, and grieve her not.
So, go ahead. You into the next verse, or that's it?
No, I was going to the next verse.
Okay. Well, see, y'all, that's what we're talking about. The Father will give instructions. If something happens to me, take care of your mama. Don't grieve her. You know, take care of her. Act like if I was still here. You don't get to do those things, but what I'm talking about is protect your mama from here on out. Pay her back, because I ain't here to help her. Take care of your mama. And you'll see throughout the deal, mothers, because they didn't get an inheritance, they was riding that son back. Hagar didn't let go of Ishmael. They was gone when he had the wicked wife at his house. Him and his mama was gone hunt. So we understand that process, that we don't break ranks from that, y'all, but we done lost our way. We into the ways of the heathen. Everybody's equal. Because they made you, what that mean? You a God now. Cuss your parents out. How dare she come in your room and say this?
That's her room.
Boy. Yeah, we on good time. We're going to speed this on up, y'all. Okay. What you saying? You want to read 4 and 5 of that same Tobit? Go ahead, hit 4 and 5 of that same Tobit. You still there?
Yeah, verse
Go ahead.
4. Remember, my son, that she saw many dangers from thee.
That's what I want. Thank you, sis. Go ahead. She saw what?
She saw many dangers for thee. When thou was in her womb. And when she is dead, bury her by me in one grave.
See, he says she saw many dangers for you when she was in your womb. She protected you when you didn't have no protection. No, you were solely dependent on her. And now you going to talk back? Like you forgot about that. See, but that didn't come to mind, because you think you wrong now. But this is a father instructing him. You don't know how she looked out for you when you was in her womb. She made sure that nothing happened to you. She protected you. She took away from herself to make sure you came out whole. Let's read some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
My son, be mindful of the Most High, R.L. All thy days.
All what?
All thy days. And let not thy will be set to sin, or to transgress his commandments. Do uprightly all thy life long. And follow not the ways of unrighteousness.
Is that it for that? Good. Did you have another verse on that? Oh, that was good. Yeah. Or did you say 5 and 6?
No, I say go do
6.
Go ahead, do 6 too then. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 6.
Yeah.
For if thou deal truly, thy doings shall prosperously succeed to thee, and to all them that live justly. Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor.
See, and that's what we're talking about, y'all. Let your eye not be envious or look down on somebody. And look, that don't mean you got to give them money. You pull up everybody out there holding up sign. It say just don't turn away from them. When they start walking to the car, don't do like this. I don't see you. I have on my horse blinders. I can't see that sign. Come on, light, please change, please change. You must look at them in the eye. You at least have to do that.
Right.
They'll move on to the next car, but you can't do this. You must make eye contact. You want the Lord to turn his face from you in your time of need?
Uh-oh.
If you do this?
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Oh, boy.
What you got, bro?
Sirach chapter 4 and verse 5.
What it say?
Turn not away thy eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee.
See, and they'll curse
That's
you
what's
out. You
gonna
got
happen.
it, you black mother.
That's what's going to
See,
happen.
look, if you look away, look at him turning away, driving that Jaguar. You know, so turn and look at him and just ain't got it. Because you're not forced to give it.
Right. But what if you like a living beggars, like you see him out there for months?
Absolutely, then that's why we're saying just look him in the eye. He may say, damn, he know I've been out here 3 days in a row with this same I gotta bury my mama sign. And that was in August, and it's January now.
Well, he do the
Got to bury my mama. And look, just scratched out the last date of her death and put a new one on there. No,
or
you
the
ain't
do-
forced.
the do
Go
that
ahead.
thing that the-
When they say they need him and their motives are not right, they need something. They need Christ.
Absolutely, they do
They don't
need it.
the money,
But
they
look.
but you can still make eye contact because what's in you is either saying I'm praying for you, or if you don't say it verbally, or they can look you in the eye and know, she sees something.
Absolutely, and look, because the eyes are the windows to the soul.
That's right.
They can read your mind, and they know if you true or not. I ain't got it.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you seen them out there. You like, if today I may give you some today, but you have to. There's a difference in when it says the beggar and the poor. There's two different lifestyles.
Right.
A beggar is not looking to come up poor, then fell on bad time, and he's looking for a way. His sign will usually say, I'll work my way back up. You know, I'll do this. Now, some have taken that sign and don't mean it. But the bottom line, once they say that, if you got work for them, get on the back of the truck. You know, and when they get through raking them leaves, be true to the game and bring that plate out like this, and you ain't gonna believe this for all that hard work. Well, look at that. Look at me say, I don't want that. I want some green back. No, it's some greens in here.
Right, right.
Some collard greens, some turkey and dressing. You got some candy yams over here too. How you like them lamb chops right there?
Which one now?
Look, boy, I saw that. I will be back at work tomorrow.
Oh. I had one tell me I saw him at 3 different stores.
Yeah.
The first store I gave. The second store, he had a different store. At the third store, he talking about, hey, bro, we be at the same place.
Yeah. But that's a beggar's life, y'all. Come on, y'all. We got to move on. What you got, sis?
You see them begging, talking about they need food, and you take them in a place and buy them some food, and they don't want the food, but they still politely take it, then they'll take it in a strip mall, take it and sell it to somebody else and get the money and still do what they do with the money.
Well, that's the deal. So you still have control of your arms. If they say, I want something to eat, then at that point you have the right to buy them something to eat, or if you choose to give them money to buy them something to eat, but you can't give instructions after that.
Right.
Once you give it to them, they buy what they want to buy. You know, if you're in that place and they out there, bro, can you give me, I get you a sandwich. You want a sandwich? Yeah, I'll take a sandwich. And you buy them a sandwich and hand it to them, and you keep it moving. But if they start to dictate to you, or you dictate your arms, you cannot do it. Right. I'm going to give you these $12. Now, you don't go in there and get that lunch meat, and you don't get what you say and them Pampers for them children. I'm going to be out here, wait, don't give them the money then. Right. Just go in there and buy it for them and give it to them. If you got to give instructions to a gift, who threatens with a gift?
Right.
That's what we're talking about. If you have to threaten with a gift, don't give it. I'm going to give you this $20, but if I hear any word you bought some drink, I'm going to come down and I'm going to be on you like a cheap suit. For what? My lips ashy and my eyes red now, and you just complimented me on them gators and I'm barefooted. What you think I'm going to do with the money? What you got, sis?
The motive is when you give it, you don't have to worry in your heart.
You don't.
Where your heart is with the money. But the thing of it is, God rewards everybody for the works of their hands. The giver and the one that does wrong with the money that you bless them with.
Absolutely. But see, it's on the giver. It's on the giver more. That's why we have 1 Corinthians 13. It's called charity. It's the book of charity. It says if I can give to everybody poor every day, and I don't do it from in my heart, I'm doing it so my neighbor can see me. Right. It's not charity. So y'all, we have to be careful that we give according to God's rule of giving. Because you may be expecting a different reward. He said, I'll pay you back. I'll see you in the kingdom. I'll pay you back for what you did for them. You got to think outside of this world at that point. I'm stacking my chips for that deal. That's when you may get your reward, so you don't get to control it. That's why I say, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. Once you give it, don't question yourself. Right. After that. Or don't give no more. There you go. Holler the scriptures out the window. That'd be better. Matthew 5 and 6. Better than doing like this and turn your head. I'm not talking about a beggar. I'm talking about poor. Poor gonna always say, help me get back up. Begging won't. Beg and say, you got any spare change?
Never seen none of that.
I ain't never seen no spare change. A poor man will say, would you mind if I take your groceries and take the cart back to get that quarter out of the Aldi's deal? Yes, sir, young man. And then I'm going to give you another quarter and take the basket back and punch it in there. Now you got 50 cents. But I done worked hard and you standing out there talking about, do you have any spare change?
One time a little young fellow came and said, can I, at the gas, can I wipe the window down?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. I got what? You stand in the gas station, can I pump the gas? It's dangerous now, so you have to keep your head on swivel. But if they say, I will work to feed myself, you know it's not a beggar. It's a poor individual down on his luck, but he's looking to come up. Boy, helping people take groceries to his car and he the neighborhood, next thing you know, they done bought him a car and he done moved up to supervisor. Because he asked, can I take your groceries to the car? Versus hand shaped like a cup. Dog, you ain't got no spare change, do you? Damn, 63 cents? That's my spare change. So you gonna count my money. Let's get some more, boy. Let's get some more, y'all, real quick. Now, y'all, we going from father to son to father. We're talking about the father gave this power to the son, and the son became a father. If y'all accept Abraham as being Father Abraham, like the scriptures say, then what's the trouble with Messiah, who did 10 times greater things? And also it was recorded that Abraham saw my day and was glad. He trumps Abraham. Mm-hmm. But you don't even want him to be the son. Y'all, we have haters out there like that of the Messiah, y'all. Mm-hmm. Dirty dog haters. Let's read some more. Where we at?
Yeah, verse 7.
Yeah.
Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thy eye be envious, neither turn thy face from any poor, and the face of Yah shall not be turned away from thee.
No, that's clear, Andy. You can hold that, bro. Mm-hmm. See, the face of Yah won't be turned from you. Let's get some more. Let's get this Matthew 23:8, y'all. We're going to roll a little bit because we got about 15, 20 minutes. We're going to be out of here and stun that turn.
He sounds like he's trying to convince himself.
Let's get it, y'all. We going to Matthew 23:8 and 11, y'all. We're going from father to son to father. We're talking about 1 Corinthians 11. The father's head of Christ, Christ's head of man. This is what we're talking about. When the father, he was a father over Christ, then he gave Christ fatherhood over us. Because he's the head of man, right? If your daddy the head of you, he's the father figure, ain't it? A coach, if you don't have no man in your life to coach, he's like a what to me? A father to me, y'all. So you're looking at him like the power that he would have if you were his natural son that came out of his loins. You respect that individual like that, like a father. I would never, if I knew who my father was and he was compared to this individual, that'd be great. But he's not. He's just like the father I would love to have. But I'm going to give him all that respect of a father, because he's doing the same too. Anybody can be a daddy, but a father,
Right.
we're talking about a whole different thing. Fathers, we got a lot of bastard slips from daddies. You that baby pappy? You that baby daddy? When you got to ask, when the father, when they say that's his father, that signifies something with a little more power, don't it? Mm-hmm. It signifies that God has put his face on them individuals when you say father. You don't whittle down there and say my father ain't sugar, honey, iced tea. Pure. Just the first letter of each word. Sugar, honey, iced tea. Go ahead. Go ahead. Jake had to use that sometime to quiet the audience down. Go ahead. Where we at?
The book of Matthew, chapter 23.
Yeah.
Starting at verse 8. But be not ye called rabbi, for one is your master.
One is your what?
Your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren.
See, one is your master, and y'all brothers and sisters. That's the most you're going to ever be. He said, don't even be a rabbi. And what I'm talking about is a teacher to go to, like you've been given instructions of the law personally. Mm-hmm. Hey, we teachers up here, but we ain't being called rabbi. You must go to the honored Ariel, and if the most righteous Zebediah Boaz is there. And,
Not I.
He got a ring to it. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, man. Verse 9.
Yeah.
And call no man your father upon the earth. For one is your father, which is in heaven.
So, no man father on earth. We know they're saying Father Abraham, he on earth, right? And your parents, your father, honor your mother and father. So, see, that's a contradiction. Ain't no contradiction. Right. It says, don't call no man on earth your father, for your father is in heaven. So, we move this up to a spiritual level. Right. Don't call no man with my power father like that. Right. We didn't look at Abraham like that. Mm-hmm. Not like that. We looked at him as a blessed man of the Most High, favored of the Most High, a friend of the Most High. But Abraham ain't never told nobody, bend down on your knees, I'm Abraham. He ain't never make that mistake Moses made later in life. And sanctify yourself with the Most High. You can wear his face, but you can't sanctify. We can wear our parents' face, but we can't be equal with them. You can't just take over for your dad and man, miss me with my dad, man. He an old simp anyway, man. Go on, do it. And look, when most people do it, we kind of stand back like this. Oh, man, you know what? I'm going to come back because I need to make a run. You like this boy disrespect this parent like this? This may not be a good deal. Some may be broke with it. So, y'all, you look at things for that perspective. You try to live from that perspective that if you a mother, you don't want nobody else's child cussing you out.
For sure.
I don't care what it is. When you see that age limit, it don't matter what race or creed, there's a line you cannot cross. Because you ain't going to be the same age as them individuals. Now, it come down to self-defense or something. If somebody old just pull out a pistol or something, you got to do what you got to do. But what we're talking about is the honor and respect that everybody's seen. The young man tried his best, but he just kept on. And when he took that cane and flipped his iced tea over, I knew that wasn't too much for the young man. See, but you're being attacked. But you can talk a young man out of anything because, believe me, if I live, I'll be 62 next month. I ain't feeling the same strength that I was when I was 28. Boy, I can hit the Regal room till 4 in the morning, get up and be at Venture at 6:30. And don't miss a beat. I try that now. Y'all be calling family members saying we think he in a coma. It ain't the same, y'all. I feel good, but I feel 61 and 11 months. It's a difference. Let's read some more, y'all. Where we at?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master.
And we see all of them out there now. They master healers, master this, master that, grandmaster.
Master baby.
Yo, boy, look there. Champions of that too.
He was down at the fish yard.
Yeah, that's what he talking about. That's what he talking about. See how y'all minds just went there.
Oh, he's working at the shipyard.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He used to be a first
Just let it go.
Now he's a
Just let it go.
Just let it go.
He's a master baby.
Go in.
You wanted to say it again.
That's so he caught the feel of it.
Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Got a grasp on it. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Hamashiach.
So that makes him a father.
Yeah.
You understand? He's the master. If we're to treat our parents as masters above us, ain't this saying the same thing?
Yeah.
Huh? Christ is above us like our parent.
Right.
We can't leave him frog and go to Big Daddy.
Right.
We got to go through him first.
Chain of command.
Chain of command.
That's right.
Let's get some more.
Verse 11.
Yeah.
But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant.
Uh-oh. So anybody out here calling themselves masters out here, then they should be your servant. You shouldn't be following up behind them. They should be your servant. Christ is our master, and he became our servant. Sure, he washed our feet, didn't he? The disciples didn't have no, and look, they got beside themselves. Wash under my arms and the top of my head too. No, this ain't bird bath time. This is just to show hospitality coming into the fold. When you wash a man's feet. And if I'm your master and I wash your feet, how y'all gonna put anybody over one another? Who you gonna put in charge after this? Let's read some more.
And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. And he that shall humble himself shall be exalted.
Right.
But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against man. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in.
So y'all can read the rest of that, but it's just talking about men that call themselves masters. And you keep reading what else they do. It say, y'all go into widows' houses. I set up, the Most High say, I set up a fund called the fatherless and who? The widows. Y'all go devour them. Sister, not to be a burden on you, I know that we just buried the good Reverend Deacon Goodnight, but he did have a nice supply of Stacy Adams, and sister, for some reason, we were the same size. You and I devouring already. Dirt ain't even thrown on him yet.
Right.
You already picking out his suits and his Stacy's and Gators.
Gonna want something else after that.
Boy, look here. Insurance policies are. I know he spent many years at Chrysler, and you know, I hear you've been covering. Yeah, you've been set well, and boy, look here.
You need a new covering for all that insurance money.
Boy, look here.
I can help you with that.
Y'all read 1 Corinthians 11. Y'all know where it say the Father's head of Christ, Christ's head of man. That goes exactly with this Matthew 23. It's telling you a hierarchy.
That's right.
If you're saying anybody beneath you should look at you because Christ said look at them like you look at Christ, then that individual must be performing like Christ. Christ drank the best wine at the wedding, didn't he? He turned it into the best wine, didn't he? At the Passover. How you want to be treated like Christ with liquor that ain't got no name on it? It got letters on it, X, A, B, and C. What kind of liquor is that? And then it has no taste, and you want to be treated, and you can't even buy good liquor. Nothing that Christ does that you want the same respect that he's giving, but it's sufficient, y'all. It ain't crazy what they doing. You know why? Because they believe in a blemished Christ. Joseph is his daddy. So if my daddy sneaks and have sex with my mama before the wedding ceremony, then that's why they say that type of father that they are. Oh, you should be treating me like God. Because their Messiah is blemished in illegal intercourse. So all they're doing is just telling you their behavior. That's why we just read that for the Pharisees make merchandise of you in long purse. So they're teaching you from their daddy, who is the devil. They're telling you you're supposed to look at me like the Messiah, but they're talking about the false Messiah that masquerade as the angel of light. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have to say that. You better obey me like I'm God. Do you have to repeat that?
If you was
Did your mama all the time have to tell you what to do, or could she just do like this? And what you do? Get in motion, don't you? When that look, I ain't gonna tell you no more. I don't chew my cabbage twice. And you get moving. Let's get some more. You finish that? Let's get to Isaiah 9th chapter. This is very important, y'all, when we talk about from father to son to father. And we're not talking about the father became the son and then the son became. No, we're talking about he passed on parental guidance and instructions to his son. Is that Lord? Isaac, Jacob, some of the 12 tribes went and studied with Abraham, granddaddy Abraham. Isaac stayed up under, I should say Jacob stayed up under Abraham. Isaiah 9 and 6, y'all. Do we need to bag it up or we good? Yo, and a lot of people say, this Isaiah's son. Well, Isaiah's son ain't never fulfilled this. Ain't no man that ever walked this earth but Messiah filled this. Because it's words in there. And it's going to explain why it can't be the Father. Yeah.
Sufficient. All right, we're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful. Counselor. The mighty Yah.
Right.
The everlasting Father. The Prince of Peace.
The Prince of Peace, but there's a key word in here. And his name, say that word to come right after that.
And his name shall be called Wonderful.
See, the key is his name shall be called. This is way up here in the book of Isaiah. We way past Genesis 1. The Father ain't going to be called that. He's already called that. Right. It's like you shall be saved, but we got to keep moving and doing what we're supposed to do. Right. If Christ completed this, these would be the titles he would be given. He shall be called. When this prophecy was right now, he wasn't called that at that point. So it can't be the Father changing himself back from his glory, becoming the Son, and you saying it's the Father. They just hate to see that word. But in the very next breath, when we go to Genesis 17, oh, they'll say that with no problem. With no problem at all. And Micah 5 tells us, Micah 4, I'm sorry, Christ said, give me back the glory I had. He said, from Bethlehem, Judea, from everlasting, from old, he been with the Father. He was the first creation of the Father. So y'all have to understand how far Christ goes back. They keep looking at him born of a virgin. No, we talking about way back before that. Way back before that. He was the captain of the host of the army of the Lord then. He was in charge of everybody then and ranking over them before he came to earth. He visited Abraham. Abraham saw his day when he got crowned king of everything. When we say our uncrowned king is coming, and this prophecy then will be attached to him. Because he said he's our master, right? Yes, sir. And he's from old, ain't he? That ain't eliminating the Father. It's just the Father giving all the power to his son. You call daddy now. We did it for Abraham. How you ain't got a problem calling it for Abraham? But you got a problem with Messiah. Let's read some more. We're going to get some more people in here that just go to read some more of that.
Some more of this. Verse 7.
Yeah.
Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Most High of Hosts will perform this. The Lord sent a word into Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel.
So y'all see here once again what he's going to do, the increase of his government and place. This is not the Father reducing himself and then being pumped back up. This is telling you, I'm a retired son, so to speak. The world is yours. That ain't too hard, is it? No. Look, because they say they'll give it to Hezekiah. They'll give it to Solomon. They'll give it to many men. They'll give it to some Negro in New York and call him Abba Bivens. They look at him, Abba Bivens or Father Bivens, more than they do the Messiah. Y'all understand where I'm going with this? They call him Father. He's just the father of a rotten tree. He's still a father. Like he told Satan is your father. The devil. Your father is where you think of here first. Because Eliezer, daddy, wasn't around, and Abraham took care of him, and he called him Father Abraham. Because of what he did for his servant, treated him like his own son. He thought the promise was going to him. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If individuals do this for here on earth with sinners, what is the problem with these applying to the Messiah? Because they'll give it to a Negro born in New York in the early 1920s. That reads out of the Kabbalah. Has a hexagram on. And you call him Abba. Y'all feel me on that? And we supposed to respect that, and then you look at the Messiah like, yeah, I heard of him, man. Yeah. What was his name, man? Jesus. Yeah, man, I heard of him. Yeah, he did some good things. Y'all, this attack on our Messiah, y'all, we got to stand 10 toes down. Because he said, if you don't believe, if you have doubt in him, you're condemned already. Because his father told him that. If they don't believe in you, don't worry about it. They're not going to leapfrog you to get to me. Because they do it to their women. They say you can't leapfrog me and go to the Lord. So how they going to do some leapfrogging over the Messiah?
Right.
If you're saying they have to treat you like the Lord, then you ain't treating the Messiah in his dignity and glory and majesty. You saying he was born like how you was born, probably at the drive-in. Or behind the arch steps. Or
How you get behind the arch steps?
Boy, look here.
Tell those
Let's get this, y'all. I'm gonna close on out. Where we at?
You want to go to Ephesians now?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go. That's Ephesians 2, y'all. Y'all read 13 to the end on that. That's gonna match up with Isaiah 9 and 6. The power that Christ would receive. Make sure y'all read that Ephesians 2, 13 through the end. It's gonna match up with Isaiah 9 and 6. Of Christ being the Father. From that perspective, we are his little children. Genesis 17, 1 and 4. And we're going to show you how men respected men that were given that title, and it's because they would be the father of nations. Not just the father of individuals. When you talk about the father of a nation, you're the beginning of a people. You're the beginning of the children of Israel. You're the beginning. Jacob then, he was the beginning, I should say, of the children of Israel. But you're the beginning of the promise to get to that. And these things keep rolling downhill till you become a good father and pass it on. But y'all, father is not a word to be played lightly. Father does not signify a bastard slip. And if it did happen, it's going to be corrected right off front. You mean that's my baby? Why you didn't tell me? I didn't think you was going. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. What we need to get going for this child of ours. And the curse, if you married and have a child by an outside woman, that child gonna look like you more than the child of your wife. I'm talking about the spitting image. Had a little girl crying to her boyfriend's mama. He said it ain't his baby. She said, shit, girl, don't believe none of that noise. If it ain't his baby, it's his daddy's. Because it look just like him too. Don't believe none of what he talking about. He's still in the family. Genesis 17, 1 through 4. Yes, sir.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 17. We'll start the reading in verse 1.
And I want to speed this up because I just want to get that wisdom of Solomon going to wrap all of this up. Go ahead.
And when Abram was 90 years old and 9.
How old was he?
90 years old and 9. The Most High appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Yah. Walk before me, and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yah talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations.
What shall thou be?
A father of many nations.
Now let's change his name so that it's sealed, signed, sealed, and approved. Go ahead.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee.
He's the father of the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, the Hebrew Ishmaelites. He's the father of the nation of the Edomites, so to speak. He's the granddad. They're Hebrew Edomites. And he's the grandfather of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, who is the father of the Israelites. They're Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Abraham still got nations of children over here and nations over here. But when you read his inheritance, what he gave to every one of his nation building children. Do you know Lot is a father of a nation? Which nations? Who is that? Y'all whispering, say louder. Yes, sir. He's the father of the start of a nation of people. Moab and Ammon, when you trace him back. When you trace Adam's lineage back, and say, and Adam, who was the son of who? God. It don't list nobody else as being the son of God. And Adam is considered the father of what we call mankind. Every human being that existed on earth came from Adam. When we read Genesis 5, what it say? He created them male and female, created he them, and called their name Adam. Not no other genealogy. but Adam. So y'all, when we're talking about a father of a nation, that's what we're talking about. Look, they gave George Washington that title for this nation, didn't it? Do y'all know in that obelisk or whatever they call it, in the top of that, George Washington, the father of America. Our founding what? Father. Yo, this ain't hard, is it? But we can't give that title to Christ who healed the sick, a woman with blood transfer. They couldn't stop it for 12 years and she just touched the hem of his garment, and he can't be called Father. And not be looked at like he trying to sanctify himself with his Father. He never said that. He said there's one good, and that's my Father. What you got to say?
I just want to interject something there. I found out years ago George Washington was not the first president. He was a black man, and they didn't even acknowledge him as
in this nation?
Yes.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name.
Well, look, what I'm talking about is he didn't have no power. Did he have an assembly and a cabinet? Did he have a navy and an army? So y'all want to look, that's a president just sitting in there. We got Negroes sitting around right now in the basement. I'm the president. Yeah. I'm the mayor around here. Hell, Judah Black the mayor around this neighborhood. Yeah. But no, sis, that's all we talk about, sis. I understand what you're saying. I clearly understand what you're saying. But when we make statements like that, there's no history of that.
Oh, Bruno, he called him out.
John Hanson.
Yeah, that was his name.
And he was the first president of this nation.
It was before
of the 13 colonies. You're talking about the 13 colonies.
It wasn't that his nation.
Those are different from when you say you have charge over every state in this union.
Right.
Over the United States.
Right.
Now the colonies are totally different things. You know, that's when they trying to put it together. That's like Israel, northern and southern tribes that soon will be one fold in one stick. That's right. They got to come back up under one banner. Right. It can't be no split banner. The 10 tribes over here and the other tribes over here. No. Especially after y'all done separated from foolishness and corruption. No, you can't be no father of nations in foolishness. We're going to finish this out, y'all, real quick. Matthew 3:7-10. We're going to hit that Isaiah, that we're going to see another man on earth called Father. So that you understand this is a common practice. That when one becomes like a father of anything. Don't you say the Godfather of soul?
Where you say we're going down?
Matthew
3:7-10. Then we're going to hit Isaiah 22, y'all. We're going to hit that whiz and we're going to close out. Yeah, right. I'm telling you, sis. I'm telling you, that's all on my list.
That's all he got
except
on
for that John.
Yeah. But you know, he
now I got some more. I got some more things to talk about.
List.
Now see, y'all delaying me with this talk. you delaying me. You taking me out my game. See, so you better let me go. See, and look, it's like trying to give me instructions with the radio up loud. Turn the radio down so I can hear it. Turn right there. What is with that though? You have to turn the radio down when you're looking for directions.
So you can hear it.
I mean, but you read directions.
Still got to turn the radio.
But that's all we saying. You just have to turn it down so you can hear it. Right. Yo, so that's all we have to do is turn it down so we can hear it. It's too much traffic out here. Too many doctrines out here. Too many YouTubes coming out here. Nothing going by the law, statutes, and judgment. And everything you do or you display, you can point right to it and say, that's how your behavior is supposed to be. And that way you won't get accused. You can't judge me. I can judge a matter. I can't put you in the lake of fire. I don't have that power. But I can judge the matter. If you telling me if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right, we're going to judge this matter. According to these scriptures. You can't love Beyonce. She belonged to Jay-Z. I don't care what they believe. Can you?
Not according to these scriptures.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Where we at? Matthew 3:7-10. Real quick, y'all. Isaiah 22-20-25. And then y'all, we're going to jump on this wisdom of Solomon. It's very important because when we say honor thy mother and father, there must be a mother up in heaven if we have a holy father. Well, we got groups out here teaching that the Holy Spirit is a woman and she sits like a queen next to the Father. That ain't written nowhere. Let's read some more, y'all, real quick. We're going to close on out here. Matthew 3, 7 through 10.
Matthew chapter 3, verse 7.
But
when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers.
What did he call them?
O generation of vipers.
Look, when you talk about a generation, when we say the generation of Adam or the generation of Abraham, when you are a generation of vipers, that means your tree, your father started out no good. Now that's truly, your daddy wasn't done, you ain't done, and your offspring ain't going to be done. That's truly this situation because it's showing your beginning of your genealogy. He said it's rotten to the core and the root need to be pulled up. What else it say?
O generation of vipers, who has warned you to flee from the wrath to come? Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance. And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you that Yahweh is able of these stones to raise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree.
What the axe laid?
To the root of the tree. Therefore every tree which bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
That's what the Messiah say. If y'all try to say we have Abraham to our father and you don't believe in the Christ as your master, as your father on earth, start the new generation, because everybody that makes the kingdom, that 1,000-year millennium, name must be found in the book of the Messiah. He has to look in there and the Father saying, I don't see your name in there and you're going to reign with Christ. It said reign with Christ. How many years? And he's going to be the Father. The everlasting Father, because if you make the first resurrection with Christ in his kingdom, the second resurrection don't have no power over you. You locked in with Christ. Christ ain't never said get rid of Popo. He said Popo made me. Let's get that real quick, y'all. Where you at? Isaiah 22, 20 through 25, y'all. And it's another individual within Israel, y'all, that had that title.
Isaiah chapter 20, verse 22, verse 20.
Isaiah 22.
Isaiah 22, verse 20.
Yes, sir.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah.
Yes, sir. We got a Hilkiah down there in Atlanta. Go ahead.
And I will clothe him with the robe, with thy robe, and strengthen him with thy girdle. And I will commit thy government unto his hand.
Now, is this Isaiah 9 who he was talking about? Is it really Eliakim who he was talking about? Let's read some more and see.
And he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to the house of Judah.
Y'all see this? What shall he be?
A father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and to the house of Judah.
Y'all see the position this man is put in. He's in charge of the house of Judah and of the people of Jerusalem. You in charge. You in charge of this. Now, is this Isaiah 9 and 6? Is this the question? Let's keep reading and we'll see. Go ahead. What else to say?
And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder.
Right.
So he shall open, and none shall shut. And he shall shut, and none shall open. And I will fasten him as a nail in a sure place. And he shall be for a glorious throne to his father's house. And they shall hang upon him all the glory of his father's house.
Of his father's house. Y'all see that? All the glory, they gonna hang on him. So just like his daddy before him, Hilkiah, he's treated the same exact way. Ain't no missing in nothing. Go ahead.
The offspring and the issue, all vessels of small quantity, from the vessel of the cups even to all the vessels of flagon. In that day, says the Most High of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the sure place be removed, and be cut down and fall, and the burden that was appointed shall be cut off, for the Most High has spoken.
And y'all see, that's clear of what the Most High said. No, he ain't gonna do it. He's the father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. What about the other nations? Because that Isaiah 9 and 6 say, all nations gonna come up to him and bow down. Not just Jerusalem and Judah, but the whole world. He shall be a light to all the Gentile nations. So either Isaiah is talking about Eliakim, which he don't fit the bill because it had multiple fathers in there. And he ain't said that he's going to be called the everlasting father. They didn't move him to that position. They just saying you righteous just like your daddy Hilkiah. And you're going to get that blessing. You'll be a father to the house of that. But ain't nowhere in here we read that a father is an old fool that doteth. I'm talking about a grandfather want to go to the club with you. Hey, Junior, is that what y'all call skeezers? Is that how I want to run right there? You think she wants some Pepsi and some Dentine? No, Granddaddy.
I'ma buy you a drink.
Yeah. No, Granddaddy. Stay in your lane, Granddaddy. His lane was at home,
Right.
watching the news and finna turn the TV off, and you got him out here. Let's finish this up, bro. Real quick. Did we finish that? Real quick, y'all. Wisdom of Solomon. Y'all, and we're gonna move through this really quick, y'all. This in the pocket for, and yes sir, we in good time. We got that few minutes, y'all, and then we must talk about the Passover, y'all. Coming up April 4th, Tuesday evening, y'all. Got tickets already, y'all. If y'all ain't ready to get them, just give me your name. I need to put you on the list, y'all. We have to buy victuals, and we can't go to the store on the 4th. Y'all understand what we saying? Because that means you have to cook all that time to go buy, cook, and then it ain't gonna happen. It won't work in captivity. Who got it?
Which Wisdom of Solomon?
Wisdom of Solomon 7.
Yep.
And y'all, this is why I want to go here, because we still have to answer for honor thy mother and thy father, because we started off the first 5 commandments are for the Lord. The second 5 is for your brethren and yourself. But still the 5th commandment, honor thy mother and thy father. If it starts spiritual, we're still missing the mother. So can we make her like a mother on earth? Can we say something represents her up on the throne? Because 1 John 5 tells us there's 3 that bear records in heaven. The Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Word. And these 3 of one mindset. I ain't seen nothing about their and Queen Mother. Have y'all? Let's get that real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 7. Go ahead. What it say?
Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 1.
What it say?
I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
Right.
Being compacted in blood, of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air, and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with care.
Right.
For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth.
So we got to talk about kings coming in here. How did Adam get here? What did he do? Huh? From dirt, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
So can you lay down with dirt and produce a king? See, y'all, this is what we're talking about, that when they try to use these scriptures and say Christ can't be king, it's another shot at the Messiah. But the very same scriptures that read in 1 Corinthians 15, also Ezra, the second Ezra, say Adam was the first man. Genesis 5 say he was the first man. And it say he was the son of God. Who is Adam's mama? Because if no other king came here, then Solomon, mama is dirt. What I mean, virgin dirt. Every king, Ahab, all of them mamas is from virgin dirt. Is that the truth? No, it ain't the truth. So when you say every king, Solomon just explained the thing. He said every person born after Adam has this birth. He didn't say even Adam himself, did he? Did he name Adam in this? So they throw the Messiah in that and say he must be born of carnal lust. Well, that's going to defile him.
Yep.
That's going to make him a blemished lamb. He has to be born like Adam to fix Adam's problem. How Adam going to produce his own problem to fix his problem? No, it has to be somebody that was in the position of Adam, born of spirit and water, and not of a natural woman. Because Adam was born without a woman, wasn't he? Who's Adam's mama then, physically? There's some Negroes say it's a book out there to tell who Adam's earthly mother was. But it's secret.
Secret book.
Secret lovers.
Yeah. Well, look here. Read some more, bro. Yeah.
Verse 6. For all men have one entrance into life, and the light going out. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon Yah, and the spirit of wisdom came to me.
So give me Isaiah 11 real quick. I just want to see the gifts on him. Just run them gifts for me. So we're going to see what Solomon's saying. Did he have these gifts to be talking what he talking? Or was there one greater than Solomon, like he said? You see, he lived up field, Solomon, one none of these are raised like Solomon. He said, but I tell you, one here is greater than Solomon. Who Solomon kneecaps going to bow to. What to say real quick, Isaiah 11, just get me to the point where what should be on it. The gifts.
This is Isaiah chapter 11, and I guess I'll start at verse 1.
Yeah.
Still hear some pages flipping.
Isaiah 11:1, y'all, we just going to make a difference here that Solomon is talking about men after the fall of Adam, not before. If Adam had never sinned in the garden, then this would be good talk. But those children were born out of a bad understanding of being fruitful and multiplying. Let's read it. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11 and verse 1.
What it say?
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. And the spirit of the Most High shall rest upon him.
Okay.
The spirit of wisdom.
That's one of them.
And understanding.
And the spirit of understanding. Go ahead.
The spirit of counsel. And might. The spirit of knowledge.
Right.
And the fear of the Most High. And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Most High. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness.
But with what?
With righteousness shall he judge the poor.
So we can hold right there. With righteousness shall he judge the poor. What I want you to see is that 7 gifts given to him. Solomon is talking about one of those gifts. Right. And wisdom, that one gift must be looked at like your mother. Yeah. How you would treat your mother. That don't mean that's the whole Holy Spirit. That's one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. That's right. In 1 Corinthians 12, to one is given the spirit of wisdom. To one is given, but they all work that same thing to one body. So, contrary to belief, wisdom is just a gift of the Holy Spirit. It's not the entire embodiment. Right. Let's read some more. Where we at? What else to say? Yeah, we're going back to wisdom real quick, y'all. We're going to speed this up. Yeah.
All right. Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 8.
Yeah.
I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone. Because all gold in respect of her is as little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hand. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them. And because wisdom goeth before them. And I knew not that she was the mother of them.
See, she was the mother of them. Wisdom, not the entire Holy Spirit. She's not the mother of might. And Samson shall have the spirit of his mama with might. He shall have the jawbone of his mama. The strength of his mama shall he split scalps open. No, because he had the spirit of might, just like Joshua got might. When Moses transferred power to Joshua, might and courage came on him. He already had wisdom close to him, but what we needed him to do is take the children through Israel. To the promised land. And you got to do some scrapping to go in there. Just be courageous. And the spirit of might came over him alone. Just might. So that's the difference. Y'all read some more. Just read down to 17, and we're going to call it, and we're going to finish off with that 1 John. Let's get it. That John 19. Go ahead.
I learned diligently and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches.
And we're talking about wisdom. Solomon was given wisdom. That was the only gift Solomon was given. He didn't ask for riches. He asked for what could help you decipher how riches should be established, how riches should be gained. That's what wisdom taught him. If you got wisdom and no money, you're going to have some money. You got money with no wisdom, what's going to happen to your money?
You're going to be gone.
You're going to be gone, and gone like good candy. So that's what Solomon asked for. He said, give me wisdom that I can judge this people. He didn't ask for tongue or all of none of the other gifts. He never cast out them shalom alike. He never did anything. He had help, Solomon did. Christ had all of that on him. When the dove came down and sat on him, all them fell on him. He turned water to wine. Did Solomon ever do that?
No.
Did Solomon heal blind? Did Solomon say, man, straighten your arm out? The men who wrote, when you read 1 Kings 3, or I believe it's 1 Kings 4, it says Solomon had more wisdom than Dardar and Melchor. And when you look up Psalms 89 and Psalms 90, look at that wisdom. Them the two boys that it says Solomon's wisdom exceeded theirs.
And he still failed.
And he still failed with the one thing he was supposed to hold close to him, a mother in righteousness, so to speak. But he got a daughter of the devil. Because he wanted her to treat her like his mama. And he let her do whatever she wanted to do. And so treat his woman like his mama. Finish that out, bro, down to 15.
Verse 14. For she is a treasure unto man that never faileth. Which they that use become the friends of Yah. Being commended for the gifts that come from learning. Yah have granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as is meet for the things that are given me. Because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom, and directed the wise.
So y'all can hold out, read all the rest of that in your own time. We got to get on out of here. Our last scripture is John 19. We're going to see the Messiah even keeping the rules of father and mother and honoring your father and mother on his deathbed. I want y'all to understand it didn't leave him when he was dying. Give me John 19:26, y'all. We're going to close on out of here. And we're going to see what responsibility he did, because not only this, but he's keeping the Big Ten. He's keeping the first 5 and the next 5 in this one verse, John 19 through 26. He's keeping the Big Ten. When he say, if you do these, you have done so. So we're going to see what he did here. And look, he's suffering on the cross. Dying. Drowning in his own blood. But the commandments didn't slip from him. We are alive just like the thief on the left side of the cross. Why don't you get me down here so I can steal some more? I just ain't ready to die. The other one on the other side, just remember me when you get to your kingdom. But I'll take my death because I'm a thief and I'm stealing, and this is my punishment. But can you just remember me? I don't want to die that eternal death. He said, no, this day you're going to be with me in paradise. But the other one want to get down. He was just sorry he got caught. He was going to be stealing soon as they sewed up them nail holes. Soon as he put on them gauze field sandals to stop the blood, he was going to be stealing something else. He got holes in his feet, boy. Go ahead. John 19:26. Go ahead, bro. We're going to close on out. Who got it?
When Yahshua therefore saw his mother.
I tell you, back it up to 25. Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Now there stood by the cross of Yahshua his mother.
Now look, y'all. She at the cross. She witnessing. She's experiencing that club don't know what mother want to experience.
Right.
My child dying before my eyes. Right. My son. My only son. I'm watching him be put to death. His mama came out. Where is his daddy? His daddy is, stepdad, I should say, is Joseph. He's 70 years old. He dead already. Or he should have been there. Joseph died before Christ was crucified. You read that in the lost books. Joseph was begging the Messiah, I'm sorry, I was thinking that about your mama. He like, don't worry about that. Christ had to tell the death angel, hold up. Joseph was scared to death. He ain't come for me. I'm sorry I said that about, I just didn't know she was pregnant and I know it wasn't me. He told the devil, he said, hold on. He said, you've been a father to me like no other on earth. And he stayed the death angel and gave Joseph peace so he couldn't feel that sting of death. And sent him on to the resurrection. And finished his father's work for another few years. What else to say right there? Read that again there, 25.
Now there stood by the cross of Yahshua his mother and his mother's sister.
Yeah, that's his auntie, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mary, the wife of
Cleophas.
And Mary Magdalene.
See, y'all, them some 50 and 60 names. Cleophas. Go ahead.
When Yahshua therefore saw his mother and the disciples standing by, whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, behold thy son.
See, he saw the disciple who was in his bosom. It said John was in the bosom of Messiah. The Messiah is in the bosom of the Father. He saw that disciple whom they were like this. And he said, Mother, that's your son now. That's your godson. He gonna do everything earthly for you that I was doing. And then what she said, don't worry about losing your son, mama, because I'm about my father's business. I told you and my stepdaddy that. What else to say, bro?
Then said he to the disciples,
Behold
thy mother. And from that hour, that disciple took her unto his own home.
So Joseph had to be dead because the disciple is taking Mary, his mother, to her home to live with her like he's her son. Her husband is dead. He's taking over the household now. He put him in charge. You in charge of my mama. Yes, sir. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. And he took her to his home and was over her like a widow, like that's his mama. Her husband has died. I got to take care of my mama. And he put him in charge. That you don't put that charge on nobody if you thinking they ain't going to handle that bill, do you?
Right.
You don't call a coward to war, do you?
No, sir.
A dog barking back up. Where you gonna take him? I'm gonna bring King around there and straighten some stuff up. And he barking, bagging up. So no, you don't put nobody in charge of your parents and you finna leave this earth and you trust that in your heart. I know that if I leave here, and your children have to be the same way. If it's a daughter, her mother leave, take care of your daddy. You know he ain't gonna cook and Junior them still burning hot dogs. So take care of your dad. I will, mama. And I'm talking about children, when the mother died, they become parents at early ages like that in Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
And they take care of all the other children. They have to grow up fast. Y'all, that's all we talking about, the hierarchy. When it's time for you to move up to father, or it's time for you to move up to mother, behave yourself, teach your children right, and you won't get nothing. If you find yourself right now, well, y'all just don't understand my mama. We understand these laws. You just don't understand these laws. This ain't about your mama. Because who is my mother? Who is my brother? Them that do the will of the Father. So this, the bottom line is, if you're doing the will of the Father, you're not going to take the behold the face of the Lord off of her and think y'all birth certificate is on the same day. You got me messed up, mama, do she? Daddy, you tripping, player. Daddy, you tripping, player.
Right.
Now you said I could use the car to take my date out. Wait a minute.
If you calling your daddy a player, he must have taught you wrong.
Boy, that's what
He
we're
had to
talking
taught
about,
you
y'all.
wrong.
He probably ain't taught him nothing.
Taught him nothing. Go on ahead, Junior. This the last time.
And take this 20.
Right.
My last one.
Right. And clean up them things that you've been to the circus with. That's all I'm gonna say. In my back seat.
Right.
Shaming his dad. Y'all, we're gonna close on out of here. Passover coming up, y'all. We got Purim coming up, y'all. March 6th. All hands on deck, y'all. We'll meet down here, y'all. Y'all know we don't do no feast day on the feast. We feast for the poor. And what that means is we bring in supplies and we make up bags and we hit the streets and give gifts to the homeless, y'all, during this Purim. Sundown technically March the 5th all through March the 6th. Y'all, so we prepare bags for the homeless, y'all. We ain't trying to give them food or anything like that because you can't give away perishables and they get sick or something. So what we give away is what they need: some deodorant, some socks, some drawers, and t-shirts, underwear. So even though you may be homeless, if you go to the doctor, what your underwear gonna look like?
Oh,
clean, ain't it? No, I'm just saying
say
before we give them away. So look, you can be homeless clothes on the outside, but if your drawers clean
Right.
and your t-shirts clean and you got on a clean pair of socks, what's closest to your body is clean, y'all. So we try to do that because that's uplifting to an individual before they can just eat a hamburger and be done with it.
Right.
But they got something to take them on. And then the house of Aria, we pass out these flyers with Purim and all the scriptures on them, telling them why we're giving you this, so you understand why you're getting this gift. And then hopefully next year you could participate in Purim and give somebody else a gift. Now, for some of y'all that don't do the home thing, it said also invite somebody over and sit down and have a meal with them and give them the gift of the Most High. Tell them about who they are. Tell them about the Most High and the gospel of Messiah. Tell them those things during that feast time. It ain't just for you to be prepared to have your throat like an open sepulcher, ready for wine to pour down. Sometimes you gotta pour that blessing of spiritual wine on an individual, y'all. So y'all, Monday the 6th, that's
Next Monday coming.
not this Monday come, but the one right following that, y'all.
Yes.
We'll be right down here getting the bags ready. And then y'all want to come down and participate, but we don't have everybody. There's not going to be a big feast location and we got food and everything out. This is a different one, y'all. We hit the streets. We're going to go in some rough neighborhoods. Well, there ain't no need you talking about being scared because the Jehovah's Witness will walk down Coke Bridge. 2 old ladies. Now, if you scared, do we need to go get 2 of them old Jehovah's Witness ladies to back you up?
Right.
If you scared.
Walk with you.
Boy, they'll clear the block. Gang members run off the porch. Here they come. if you scared. Y'all, we got the Passover coming up Tuesday, April the 4th at evening. Y'all, we got the location locked down. I got a list up here. Look, if you ain't got right now the cost of the Passover, y'all, because we have to get ahead of this, just give me your name so I can put you on the list. We have to know what number we count. Hold on, sister, I need to holler at you too. So, you know, we have to make sure, y'all, and we're not saying we're telling you to dig deep right now. You may not have an income tax checks coming. We know you on that, but get on the list so we can start counting when we go to the store.
Put me down.
Out of town guests.
How much it takes?
We got a list out there. We'll send it to you with the price listing on it. It's by age groups. You know, so, and then the families of how they go. But we list all of that out when we hear that you will participate. Anybody inviting anybody to the Passover, you responsible for them. Don't bring nobody in our house that put their feet on the furniture.
Thank you.
Don't bring nobody in our house that put a spoon in the pot of greens and eat out of the pot.
Thank you.
You're responsible for that individual. Tell them what it's about. Don't bring them down there and tell them, I'm going to show you how we get down. See, you went to Easter last year at church, but I'm going to show you. No, we ain't in no competition with nobody.
Right.
Explain it to them what the sacrifice the Messiah made for us. And to die on that cross for us. You have to explain that, and we're going to repeat what happened in Egypt. You're going to just have to put the blood on the doorpost of your heart now, so that they know when they get there, they know what the process is. Yo, we're not going to be explaining about, and we know some of y'all down here, y'all practice the Muslim faith, and some of y'all non-Messianic in here, and some of y'all Freemasons, but you know how we kind of do it. Y'all don't have to do, you ain't going to be in there.
Right.
What we going to do? What kind of cup we drinking from then?
Cup of damnation.
Cup of damnation then mixed all together. How you gonna have somebody to pass over and it's about the unblemished lamb and you got a non-Messianic there?
Right.
So y'all, we ain't telling you who you can invite. We saying just be in charge of who you invite. And make sure this the cup we drink from. You ain't got nothing in your pockets, do you? You ain't got no bottle head in your sock. Don't bring no cheap liquor in here and pour your liquor like you do at the high school dance. No, don't do that. Don't pour Sadducee and Pharisee and Herodian juice in our drink. Don't even come that way.
Say it home.
What to say too bad? Say it home. That's all we talk about, y'all. And y'all, we hope that when get some understanding on the fifth commandment, that fifth commandment, they were the face of the Most High, and it can never be disrespected. You ain't gonna never be the same age as your parents. You ain't gonna never catch up.
Right.
Ever. The thing is, the mystery of this, if your parents died when they was 46 and you lived to 86, in the kingdom you be older than your dad. But y'all be brothers and sisters. Like Abraham and Lot. That was his nephew, but he called him brother. This is my brother in the spirit. Nephew don't even exist here. I'm not trying to rank over him, nephew. That's my brother in the Lord. That's right. Christ is our father, even though he's my nephew. Y'all get it? Let's close out. Got any questions or concerns too by anybody before we get out of here? Y'all hit me up, y'all out of town who coming in. We need to do that because we got a closeout date for anybody coming out of town. We want to make sure that you're able to get locked and loaded in the hotel if you're traveling here. We need to know what's going on, which is send that email to judah@aol.com. We'll send you the link. You can get in touch with, we got two people, Brother Ishua here, and myself will be the contacts for getting your name on the list. If we ain't seen you from a while and we just asked the question, what cup you drinking from? And if you get up in arms at the party, you ready for some brunity or some hanging out or some swallowing wine, it should be real easy. Cup of the Messiah, born of a virgin, high priest after the order of Melchizedek, given to him by his father. Is that hard to drink, y'all? It was that simple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If you repeat that, what's the fussing about? You know what cup I drink from. No, I don't.
Right.
Last time I looked, you was drinking somebody else's drink with a cigarette butt in it. Just grabbed it off a table. They done wasted some good drink, left it right there. No, we don't do that around here. Don't bring no drink with a cigarette butt in it. Let's close that, John. Love your mother and father, y'all. Respect them. If they go crazy, have patience with them.
That's right.
And tell them, Mama, the Lord still love you. I don't want to hear nothing about your God. He still love you, though, just like me. What you need before I go? Is that hard? Or should we just say, man, my mama, man, miss me with that, man. My mama won't even love the Lord. I can't get her to read it. Don't care about none of that. If she didn't do what she's supposed to do in them 9 months, you wouldn't be saying what you saying.
All right, family.
And let me say, no, I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing.
You really got something.
You got something on you.
No, I don't, man. Go ahead.
We're going to get this closing prayer.
Yeah.
And it is with the Most High's permission, in the name of his only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, the 26th verse reads, Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Most High. Therefore, I shall not slide. Examine me, O Master, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart.
Yes, sir.
For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked.
Yes, sir.
I will wash my hands in innocency. So will I compass thine altar, O Yahweh, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving, and tell of all thy wondrous works. Master, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth.
Yes, sir.
Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes.
Yes, sir.
But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me,
Yes, sir.
and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless the Most High. Hallelujah! Say
Y'all got a shekel or two. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you, worldwide audience, for y'all support. Greatly appreciate it, y'all, what y'all do for us. Anybody need to get their name on the list? Come and holler at me before we close on out of here.
Dog.
Yeah, I already got you.